would we be able to do some of the drops and the Blurs days?
Oh, my goodness gracious. Absolutely. I'll give you my answer, Andrew, in one word. And I also have to mention, I think at the beginning of the show and throughout, I've been mispromoting this. I've been calling this the Northeast bracket, and then it's actually the Southeast bracket. It is the bottom right quadrant that I have ready to go today. So the listener Jake broke these, like there's basically 4 kind of areas, and they're broken up into different categories. What is the bottom right?
So the bottom right bracket is Who Needs a Movie? These are drops from any TV, movies, or viral videos. Just to give you a sense, like he's got another bracket that'll be all kids and animal drops, and then one that's going to be all the radio days. We can get into them each day, but that's the bracket we're talking about today. Who Needs a Movie? Drops from TV, movies, or viral videos. And I will also say I don't think that he's posted any way to vote on these brackets yet, but keep an eye on the Stens page on Facebook, if that's how you play, if you play in that space, or the Slack channel, if that's a space you play in, and he'll be posting the polls there. So right now I don't have anything to put on tbtl.net. Okay,
so the 1 seed in the Southeast bracket is none other than...
Jalapeno!
Okay.
Our friend Shep Smith. Has he resurfaced?
I haven't heard any news since he lost his job.
Quit or got run out of Fox News, which was only a matter of time because he seemed like the only person there with even a scintilla of a moral compass, not to opine. So in the Southeast bracket, the 1 seed is Jalapeno going up against a number 16 seed, which is...
That's a tuna, bro!
So do you want us to, we're not weighing in. We're just laying out these brackets for folks, right? Because we don't want to put our hands on the scale.
Exactly. I mean, that's what I think. I think we should try to be as unbiased as possible.
That's a tough one, though. Those are 2 very lovable drops.
Yeah, I know. I want to say something, but I don't want to sway the jury, as it were. So I'll just say those are a couple of really strong competitors.
Yeah.
They both give it their all and have had very successful seasons, which is why they've landed themselves in the TBTL Drops of Stupider tournament. The next matchup, it is an 8 seed against a 9 seed. These are classically tough matchups because you have 2 very evenly matched teams. In this case, it is...
Too loud and too specific.
Going up against...
well, that's a pretty good spoof.
Boy...
I know
tough
what
call,
I vote
man. That's
for
a real
there.
8 and 9 seed.
Yeah, I like that it's not edited. That it's just the too loud and too specific. They don't have the the
other part,
the brighter,
that you'd rather.
The broader context on that. Yeah,
yeah, I know. Every time I see that drop in my little list of drops, I imagine you being sad.
or
like
wincing.
I'm not kidding.
Yeah,
I look at it and it makes me think this is uncomfortable. Not unlike your dad's fake poop April Fool's joke. I feel like it gives you the same feeling, and I don't want to make you have that feeling, so I try to not play it too much. But then sometimes I do apparently just want to make you sad because I do play it. So on the days that I do play it, just know that I am low-key hating you.
Okay. Oh, good. I'm always looking for those signs.
All right, next up, it is a 5 seed taking on a 12 seed. The 5 seed, the higher seed, of course, would be...
This is so boring and forever taking.
That is from Archer. We played that the other day. Excuse me. I get emotional when I think of... Is her last name Tunt? Cheryl Tunt?
Oh, I think it is, yeah.
Why is that the funniest? Maybe because it sounds like something else. That's the 5 seed going up against the 12 seed. Wow.
Yeah,
I could have seen this being a higher seed.
Way higher. This shocks me.
Well, every once in a while, this could be like, you know what? This could be like the Wichita Shockers. They always make a run in the tournament, even though they often come in as a higher seed.
Is that something that Krieger is making in the basement?
I know something else he's making. Should we play that drop? Here we go. This is the 12 seed. And it is...
They were trying to say I was drunk. I drank 8 beers yesterday. That was all I drank.
Maybe it's just because I just remember when that was new. It came from our time at Cairo Radio together. I know I'm not allowed to say, but I guess I'm saying that drop is special.
Yes. Oh, hey, speaking of which, we may get there in a moment. Next up, the next matchup is a number 4 seed against a number 13. The number 4 seed is
Two bros, broing it up.
And then the number 13 seed is
This is special.
Wow.
This is special.
Interesting.
Yeah. I feel like, again, I'm not saying this is how it should be, but if I were the Dick Vitale, if I were watching this like Dickie V, baby, diaper dandy, NBN, nothing but net. If I was doing that, which would drive away what few listeners we have left, I would just say from a kind of, sports punditry standpoint that I expect This Is Special to go pretty far in the tournament, just because of how often we use it and how often it's associated, as I said the other day, with kind of auspicious moments for the show.
Well, this is where you need to get Kornacki on it and start looking at the voters. Like, who are the voters?
Zooming in?
Yeah.
We're zooming into the Appleton area of Wisconsin where we're seeing a turn from the 2016 election.
I think you're going to see Hillsborough County in Illinois, really.
Oh,
I mean,
God,
because
okay.
in
Those are coming in
2018, they went for two bros broing it up. No. By the way, I was wondering, I saw somebody say something about Hillsborough. I don't think I've ever lived in a state that doesn't have a county named Hillsborough, and it got me wondering if that is the most common county name in America, or what is the most common county name in America. That is something I've been thinking about during quarantine. What was I going to say? Oh, I think that you have to look at the electorate and who turns out to vote on this, because Two Bros Broing It Up, I think, represents a much earlier era of TBTL, right? Like, even though we think of it now as you and me being two bros broing it up, that's from the earliest radio days. That would be if you and Sean were going off on something, I think you would play it. You know more about that than I do. And so to me, I love that drop because it reminds me of those early heady radio days. And I think This Is Special comes from a much later era. It's like 2012, 2013, and you and me are doing the show then.
Andrew, I know I'm delaying us, and I'm also confusing the issue because we're in the midst of playing a list of drops. But the number one county name in America with 31 counties,
Hillsborough.
Washington County.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
I don't even know if I've ever been to a Washington County, but that is the most common U.S. county name. Second place, I didn't mean to hit that. I was trying to hit the drum roll again. Whatever, is Jefferson County with 26.
Presidents.
Franklin County with 25.
Damn, all right.
Jackson County. Do you see a pattern here?
I do.
Lincoln County, Madison County.
Oh, my God.
Clay County, Montgomery County, Union County, Marion County, Monroe, Wayne, Grant, Greene, Warren, Carroll, Hold My County, comes in at number 16. Adams, Clark County. We got a Clark County in Washington. That's at number 17. There's actually a tie. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Geez Louise. There is like a ton of counties that are tied in terms of the number of counties that have the name. And they're all basically, typically political people. They're named for, like, Douglas County, named for Stephen A. Douglas. Lee County, named for Robert E. Lee. Marshall County, named for John Marshall. I'm trying to see if on the fly I can get to your Hillsborough County, because I have heard that so many times. But let's see, down here. Let's just go to the very bottom. There are only 2 counties in America. By the way, it's a long list of counties that there's only 2 of. In fact, it is like half of the list is just things that there's only 2 of. But at the very bottom, I guess just because it's alphabetical, is Yuma County. Guess what else is? There's only 2 counties in America. Worcester County. There are 2 of them. There are 0 Worcester spreadsheet.
How about this for me being totally full of it? I said every state I lived in has a Hillsborough County. That's not true. Only 2 states have a Hillsborough County, according to this list. New Hampshire and Florida. I ain't never lived in Florida.
I know. It's like, it's at the bottom of the list. It's literally one of the least popular county names out there.
How did I think of this? I feel like I'm always hearing about Hillsborough counties.
It's when you drive a certain kind of car, and you start to see it a lot. It's like something, what for me it would be? DuPage County, which is in Illinois, which is where one year the PGA, I think, Tour Championship was played in DuPage County, Illinois. And I went to the previous year's PGA Championship because it was in the Northwest, and I was like doing some kind of weird job where I would like run out to the greens and then report on things. This is before the internet was really that strong. I would run back in and tell the journalists what was going on. I had this very bizarre job there for 3 days, but they gave us a bunch of free shit about the next year's tournament that was going to be in DuPage County, and I've never gotten DuPage County, Illinois out of my head from that moment.
Well, this is also driving me crazy, though, because I could have sworn that there was a Pierce County in New Hampshire, but there isn't. There's a Pierce here in Washington, of course, because I've always thought, yes, I've lived in states that have both Pierce and Hillsborough. Like, none of my assumptions, or not even assumptions, but knowledge has been correct on this at all. I'm getting confused because Franklin Pierce, I believe, was for... Well, why would I dig myself deeper? Pretty sure Franklin Pierce was from New Hampshire. Of course, you have... I think Franklin Pierce College there in New Hampshire, but no Pierce County.
You know who will know all about that Pierce County stuff? Ed Troyer. Let's see if we can get him on the pod.
I don't know. He doesn't really seem to like to do media.
All right. Next up on the list is the number 6 seed.
Carol, hold my calls.
That's a good one.
Oh, I love that one so much. It's an SNL skit involving a bunch of people, but that's Will Forte.
Which I still always picture, speaking of BoJack, I always picture who does BoJack?
Will Arnett.
I always think that's Will Arnett, even though you've told me it's not.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah. God, I love Will Forte so much. It is Carol Hold My Calls, the number 6 seed, going up against... I don't actually know where this is from. It's an 11 seed. It is.
That's not how it works.
What?
That's not how any of this works.
You don't know what that's
What
from?
is that from, Andrew?
It's from an Esurance commercial. It's it's like 3 old ladies in their in one of their apartments or something, and one of them is trying to do a Facebook, so she has a wall, literally a wall of all of her friends' pictures stuck to it, and she keeps on mistaking how.
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah,
it's a good commercial.
It's a great commercial, and then the one lady is just like frustrated by her non-tech savvy friends and says, "This isn't how it works."
All right. Second, this matchup, the other drop in this little competition in this part of the bracket is... Oh, wait. Actually, we're in a new category now, or we're just in a new little section. This is a number 3 seed.
The answer, sadly, is not yes.
So good.
Going up. And you know what? Honestly, I think it's having a moment. Like, sometimes you'll catch a basketball team just right at the right moment. Like, they're just peaking, you know? And I think this drop is peaking at the right moment.
The answer, sadly, is not yes.
And it's not me saying that it should be voted in or whatever. I'm just observing that reality. That's a 3 seed going up against a 4th seed. This is a strong, 14 seed. This is a strong 14 seed in my mind.
So you mean to tell me that all of those sounds were coming from your body?
I mean,
wow.
I feel like I say that in real life a lot.
Yeah.
Like, that drop lives with me.
See, this is okay. Let me try to analyze this without weighing in, because I don't know if I can weigh in on this. Honestly, it's tough. But to me, this is a breakdown between what is a better joke and what is a better drop. Because I was thinking about the sadly, the answer is not yes the other day. Like, I honestly think when you look at actually what comes right before that in The Simpsons, like, that might be the best joke ever. Can you say anything simply, Seymour? The answer, sadly, is not yes. Like, that is such a good joke. That might be the best Simpsons joke ever. That might be the best joke on planet Earth ever. Like, I was thinking about it the other day, just being amazed by how delightful that is. But as a drop, those sounds coming from your body, I mean, that was such a special, to me, that's a very special TBTL universe drop. Because it meant so much to us.
So you mean to tell me that all of those sounds were coming from your body?
So that's a tough one for me. That's joke versus drop right there.
Okay. I love it. This is, there's no sports, but Andrew, you're bringing an analysis.
Yeah.
You're a regular Clark Kellogg.
Oh, no,
like, just really breaking down the X's and O's of this tournament. I'm loving it. Okay. 2 more to get through real quick. 2 more pair, that is. Coming in at a number 7 seed.
Oh, yes.
Is again, a drop I feel it's having a moment.
Oh, he's hilarious, dog. Who is...
Wait, why does it stop there?
Oh, my goodness. I grabbed the wrong one. Let me see if I can find... I don't even know if I have the...
I think I'm the one who pulled this. I think somebody sent it to me, so let me see if I can find it. That is Drake on... Here, let me just play it here. Unfortunately, this is going to be too long, but it's better than too short, probably.
Oh, snap!
This comedian was crazy in the 80s with his raw and delirious routines. Jared.
Oh, he's hilarious, dog. Who is Rick Moranis?
Somebody sent that to me and said, this is a little bit out of the blue, but for some reason they sent it to me. I was like, I don't know if I have a use for that. Well, it turns out we have a use for that. I love that so much. That's Drake on SNL in a skit called Black Jeopardy.
Drake being kind of like a nerdy Canadian.
Yes.
Who is like the idea of Drake's favorite comedian being Rick Moranis just
I know, right?
It just warms my heart. It really does. I want to live in a world where Drake is just got like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, like got the whole all of them on DVD and is just a straight up Moranis head. So that is going up against a number 10 seed, which again is a very, very, very oft-played and kind of mythic member of the TBTL drop community.
I might have tacos when I go home. I'm not quite sure yet.
That's a
biggie. That was your intro for like
lower.
A long time.
Yes. How is Rick Moranis beating that? I mean, again, not to
my guess is I'm guessing that listener Jake assigned these seeds.
I think they
unless
were based
he has
on
some
voting.
complex.
Because he said the number 1 seeds were based on having received more than 25% of the ballots.
But then how do they go up against – because they were all just on one big list, and now they're being organized into these subcategories, which is, by the way, genius. Good job, Jake.
Yeah, that's
I like the subcategories.
It's great.
But I feel like once you put them in the subcategories, you lose whatever that head-to-head thing was.
Sure, right, that's true. Okay, so this is obviously some judgment call.
Get back
to
us, Jake, when your bracket makes freaking sense, dude.
No way, this is great. All right.
No, this is actually really awesome. This is like certainly better than if I would have put it together. You would have put together something really good because you're detail oriented.
This is better than I've tried this for Song of the Summer, but for some reason this is Zazzy or his bracket's better.
Yeah, and then the last matchup is a number 2 seed.
Is it too early to get a fish sandwich?
Oh man, Traffic Jam Jimmy.
Yeah.
Going up against something that actually is a longer drop, but we've now isolated down to how it was described in the contest. And this is a number, on this list, this would be a number 15 seed.
Gentlemen, to bed, for we leave at 9:30. Ish.
From the trip.
We were queuing that up this morning before the show, and I just said, I got to go watch that movie again.
Yeah.
Like, that, just hearing just that amount of that clip makes me want to go sit down and just watch the trip. It's so genius.
Yeah. That one, well, I don't have to. I guess it's a 2 versus 15, so I think the seeding kind of speaks for itself on that one.
Maybe, but I mean, I don't think I'm influencing people unduly here by saying I would just ignore the seeding. I mean, peace and love to listener Jake. I would just say vote for the drop.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
What's fun about March Madness? I don't think legally we can call it that. I think that's trademarked. What's fun about the Big March? I believe we can say that. Hey, are you guys coming over for the Big March? Hey, are you guys coming over for the sport thing?
I think Drops of Stupider is a brilliant name that you've given this. I told that to Vives yesterday. She agrees.
Oh, good. I feel like I just used it because Drops of Jupiter comes up so much on the show, but what makes these kinds of things fun is the upset component. So definitely, everyone just vote for the drops that you like, and we'll see where the chips land, as it were. As long as they're ridged chips, come on over, watch the fish.
What I will say is, if it's too early, is it too early for a fish sandwich? And tomorrow we ride at 9:30. I feel like both of those they have the same values, but one of them has a plan to get it done.
Yesterday we brought you the southeast quadrant of the TBTL Drops of Stupider contest. Those were, what was the organizing principle of those ones, Andrew? The ones we did yesterday, do you remember?
The ones we did yesterday were Who Wants a Movie was the official title of it. Okay. Drops that came from movies and TV shows. Who needs a movie? That's the drop.
Who needs a movie?
What is that from?
That's, and I don't even know if that made it on the list or not. That was this weird. So who needs? I mean, we play it all the time, but it was from a weird website. Like, it might have been a YouTube page of someone doing movie reviews. So who needs a movie? Why is that the one drop I can actually do a pretty spot on impression of?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I'll find. You know what? I'll look that up this weekend because I got a long weekend in front of me of doing nothing. So I will. I'll look that up. But today we are in the Northwest section of the bracket. Again, big thanks to listener Jake in Chicago for putting this together.
Amazing.
It was a totally genius idea, and I'm with you, Andrew. I love the way that he actually organized these because today's section is what? What's the organizing principle?
So you're doing the top left corner. So this is kids and animals, drops of children or of something related to animals.
Okay. So that starts with a number 1 seed coming out of... Actually, I don't know where this kid was when he recorded the video, but it is...
I feel happy of myself.
Oh, I remember who that kid is. That's a You Can Do It. That's a kid who I think had just maybe ridden a bike or something, and his dad was asking him.
So.
That's a thumbs up for Rock and Roll Kid.
Yep.
I love it. I love that kid's optimism. It's infectious, which is a dangerous way to describe things these days. But I do love that kid's. That's a 1 seed going up against a number 16 seed. Oh, what have you done for me lately? Because there was a time when this would have been a 1 seed, but now it's possibly yesterday's news.
Is this real life?
The Daniel at the dentist.
David after the dentist. I just looked it up.
David after the white vans, I believe, is that. David after the dentist. How old is that kid now?
This was, if I'm looking at the original video here, this was posted in 2009. The kid was probably 10, so I'm going to say maybe the kid's like 19 or 20 now.
Somebody is going to get that kid and the Charlie That Hurt You Bit My Finger kid and have them start a band or something.
We could get this kid on the show. For media, this is on the YouTube page. I guess I'm looking at the original one. For media requests or any other questions, contact David's dad at davidafterdentist.com.
I wonder how much they were able to actually make off of that. I bet you. I mean, how many times has that YouTube video been viewed?
This has been viewed. By the way, I'm also looking at this description. This is a video of my then 7-year-old son. Okay. I said 10, and it was from May of 2008, originally recorded, and it looks like it's got 139 million views.
Jeez. That cash could get me out of a couple of jams. So that would have happened. TBTL would have been, let's see, January, February, March, April, May. TBTL was about 6 months old when that happened.
When that was recorded. Wow.
Wow. Okay. So, David after the dentist going up against I Feel Happy of Myself. Next matchup. This one, I know we said we're not going to put our thumbs on the scale, but Andrew, I'm hoping this doesn't advance too far just for your mental health.
It's triggering.
Game of Cats.
That's a drop. You consider that a drop. I mean, a lot of people
I didn't
must
make
have
the
voted
rules.
for it. Yeah, that's interesting.
Cat rolling. Oh my God, that was a fun period of years on this show.
I mean, you got to give credit to the CD in my Prius when I started my Prius, and
that was level.
I believe
trolling.
everything just dropped off after that because how do you beat that, right?
You can't. That was for people that are relatively new listeners or have forgotten. There was a long period of time where Andrew, I think it was mostly me trying to mess with you by playing this. Was that how it worked, or was it going both directions?
You did this thing where we would sometimes do this to each other with various pieces of audio, but of course we were in different locations. I was in L.A. when this kind of came around, and there were a couple of times when you said, "Okay, we're in the middle of a top story," and then you'd say, "And you know what? I have the tape of that right here," and then you'd hit the tape, and it would be the Game of Cats theme song, and I would get irrationally angry at you. But so you kept on doing it, and then listeners started trying to find ways to cat roll me in real life, including. There was the famous not minivan, but my Scion incident. Somebody sent the CD to Genevieve, and she got it in my car. She didn't even know why. She was just like Manchurian candidating it, just like doing whatever she was told, right?
So there was a CD that had been surreptitiously placed in your CD player in your car of this song, so that when you turned on the car one day, it just started playing?
Yes, and also, do you remember listener Aiden? Who is he 20
Yeah.
now? Lil Aiden.
Aiden after the dentist, famously.
That's right. His dad is a pilot, and even though they knew I was going on a trip somewhere, and even though his dad Will was not a pilot on this particular plane, he knew exactly which flight I'd be on and where I'd be sitting, and so somebody on the flight crew of this plane delivered me a care package which included a card from Aiden that when you opened it up, it played the Game of Cats song.
You're
it was
on an
audio
airplane
embedded card. Yes,
I love it. That was great. So Game of Cats is in the competition, and it is going up against. Let's see here. Oh, another cat-related thing. It's this one.
A cat is an angel that poops in a box.
I believe that's SNL. Is that
what that's from?
Kristen Wiig? Yeah.
Really? I had no idea. I'm learning.
Yeah, it's a actually very funny skit. A cat is an angel. I think it's maybe Kate McKinnon.
Whiskers Are We with Kristen Wiig.
Yeah, you want to play a little bit of it?
Let me see if I can get it here. Come on, no whammies, no whammies.
Cat.
Oh, you're right.
A cat is a friend with fur. A cat is a pillow that hugs you back.
You are right, it's Kate McKinnon in the
Croutons
wig.
on the salad of life. A cat is an angel that poops in a box.
I had no
come
idea.
on down for our Thanksgiving Catacopio giveaway here at Whiskers Are We. Hi, I'm Barbara DeDrew. And I'm Veronica. Like Veronica, but how a cat would say it. You are loca, muchacha. Many of these rescue cats come from owners who didn't value their specialness. So let's take a look at today's feline-up. Alan is a Himalayan, and you can find Himalayan on the couch.
Oh my God. These guys are brilliant. Oh my God. I never saw this. I thought that was really from a reality TV show.
No, that's from SNL. God, I love them so much.
And that's just from 2016. I thought that was a drop from the radio days.
See?
No idea.
We're like you said, we're all learning. A cat is an angel that poops in a box is that's going up against Game of Cats, and that moves us to a new category, which is a number of. The reason I'm sort of taking so much time is because I printed this out in the smallest possible font. And it's grayed out, so I can barely see the seeding here. This is a 5 seed, and it is.
If you've got cute hair, I'm gonna say, damn girl, you got some cute hair.
Pygo Your Life. Pink, yellow, green, orange. Pygo Your Life. I went to try to find that for some reason a few weeks back, the source video, and I never could. That was some kind of a internet or YouTube thing I think Jen got really into. Oh, by the way, Jen's going to be on the show on Tuesday. So look forward to that, everybody. I know lots of people have been asking about how she and Jason are doing, so she's going to check in. But I remember Jen being very into this idea of Pygoing one's life. And my memory on the details is a little foggy, but that was a big thing in the world of TBTL. Pygo Your Life. If you got cute hair, I'm going to say, damn girl, you got cute hair, is a number 5 seed going up against a number 12 seed, which is, I believe, listener Allie's kid.
Wow, congratulations to Allie and Gray.
Reacting to this little silly sound machine. It's at Grayson.
Yeah. We just heard from Allie the other day. She says that she and Grayson and her other 5 are doing a lot of bird watching while they're quarantined.
Well, Grayson is in the competition, as is, I presume that's listener Allie, operating the sound effect machine. So it's a whole family thing. Wow. You guys, congratulations for getting in the tournament. Sorry that you are a 12 seed. Apparently, listener Jake doesn't think that much of your cuteness. Next up, a number 4 seed. Oh, this is one that I love. If you've ever seen the real video to this, it's...
Hey, I'm sorry, I didn't see you there. I was too busy blocking out the haters.
This kid with, I think it might even be like a couple of plastic spoons over his eyes.
Indeed.
Just a comic genius. And I'm not being sarcastic. Like, that is a genuinely funny thing to do. It's part of why I do love the tiki-taki so much because you just have so many people are involved in it, and a lot of it's dumb, and some of it's overly sensual with young people dancing in ways that I don't need to be seeing as a soon-to-be 44-year-old man. But there's just these little moments of, like, not this kid, but like that just crack me up. He is going up, the blocking out the haters kid is going up against the number 13 seed, and that is this little girl.
I was shaking, my tongue was shaking, my head was shaking, my arms were shaking, and my legs, my feet too.
Would you believe that drop is only 8 seconds long, Andrew? That kid packs a lot into 8 seconds.
Oh, who is that?
I don't remember.
Is it Allie's other kid?
Yes. It's Puddles.
Okay. It's Puddles.
Yep. Congratulations, Puddles. You made it into the competition.
I was shaking, my tongue was shaking, my head was shaking, my arms were shaking, and my legs, my feet too.
Yeah, I can't remember where that's something on the internet. Some listener will remember maybe and tell us. But that is what is going up against the kid who's blocking out the haters. Next category, speaking of the children of the listeners, the next category, number 6 seed is...
Poop.
Wow. That is listener Michael's daughter, Reagan, I believe, asking, actually reenacting a joke that had happened between her and her brother. Should we just, why not?
Do you have the whole thing? Because I think I have the whole thing somewhere. It's really good.
Yeah, I've got the whole thing right here. Take a listen to this. This was a voicemail message that Reagan was leaving for her dad, Michael, about something that had gone on in their garage, I think.
A message sent November 28th.
Daddy, I want to tell you a few things. I just came back from ballet, and we're home right now, and Mommy, and when we were in the garage, I asked Reagan, did you poop? And he nodded his head, but he really did not poop. But that's funny because Mommy checked, and there was no poop. So...
Oh, well, let's let the end happen to it. So cute.
Oh, good.
Why don't you call me back at 7 o'clock? Bye-bye.
Call
me back at 7 o'clock. So Reagan is the kid who didn't poop.
Well, yeah, but also Reagan's brother. I don't think I've ever actually understood. I don't know if I ever listened closely enough. I believe what happened was Reagan asked her little brother if he pooped. He said he had pooped, but he had not pooped. The answer, sadly, was not yes.
Didn't she just refer to her brother as Reagan in that voicemail?
No, I think her name is Reagan.
I just came back from ballet, and we're home right now, and Mommy, and when we were in the garage, I asked Reagan.
Oh, my God. So Reagan's the boy? I have been so wrong, Andrew, for so long. I thought this little girl's name was Reagan.
Reagan. I don't know.
Yeah, you're totally right. Well, okay. Sorry, Puddles. I did not.
Learning.
The whole time I've been calling. I mean, for years of my life, I thought there was a little girl named Reagan who was leaving adorable voicemails for her dad. No, she has a different name. Her brother, the prankster, the trickster Loki, the Norse god of pretending you pooped when you didn't poop, is named Reagan.
Well, this is only going to confuse things more because I see that I have another drop in here. I was just searching my library for poop, and I have another poop-related voicemail from a kid named Grayson. Could this be Allie's Grayson again?
Pretty scoop scoop.
Probably.
Poop.
Or there's a lot of Graysons out there. Anyway, that's not in the contest, so forget I played that.
Yeah, erase that from your mind, everybody, because the next actual drop in the actual contest is if you couldn't go much further away from the cuteness and I don't know, just youthful promise of that little kid into one Gary Busey.
That dog is barking. That is not my dog.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's the drop.
That's interesting, yeah.
Busey dog drop. So you've got Reagan's sister going up against Busey dog drop.
That dog is barking. That is not my dog.
That's classically one of those drops that we were very, very, very obsessed with Gary Busey in the early days of this show. And I think probably that drop got played a lot because I like to talk about dogs, my dog, other dogs, and it serves a purpose. It's not inherently the greatest drop, but it is a thing I can play if the subject of canine friends comes up.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's funny. I'm thinking about this matchup. So, did you poop against? Is that dog that's barking? That's a tough matchup. Although I think and I could be wrong. I'm not trying to influence things, but my guess is by playing the full context of "Did you poop," it gives that drop probably a leg up in the voting mind. Because Did You Poop is a good little drop, but also knowing the background, hearing that full voicemail, knowing that it was from a TBTL listener, like all of those things I think support that in the race.
Yeah, and I don't think it matters to Gary Busey if he wins this contest as much as it might mean to Michael's family and Reagan and his unnamed female child. The next up on the list is a new matchup that is a 3 seed against a 14 seed. The 3 seed.
I like turtles.
That's a biggie in our world. That's a biggie. That is. Do you have that full one? I have it too, but that is from a local TV broadcast in Oregon, right? Do you know the backstory on this one, right?
I didn't know it until somewhat recently, and I didn't remember that it was Oregon. I didn't know where it was from, and I think maybe we had one of these conversations and you told me, or I was just sleuthing around. Here's the audio.
Back here live at the Waterfront Village with my friend, the zombie, Jonathan. You're looking good. Jonathan just got an awesome face paint job. What do you think?
I like turtles.
He's all... That you really have to see it. I'm sure most of our listeners have at this point. But he's just painted up like a zombie. He's just got like this great face paint on, and just wanted to share with that TV reporter his love of turtles. So we go from I like turtles to this is a 14 seed and not somebody who I don't think we ever met this person. This is not a kid of one of our listeners. It's just some little cute kid off of the internet that had written a book about kittens.
Kittens inspired by kittens.
Kittens inspired by kittens. Yeah. That's I believe good. I remember right, she's going through it's either drawings that she's done or books, like a book that she's put together, right?
I don't know. This one I do not
really?
know. Mm-hmm.
Oh, man, I don't have... Unfortunately, all I have is Kitten Inspired by Kittens. It's very funny, though. She's... Actually, you know what I think it is? I think it's a real book about kittens, and she's just making things up about the cats. Her enthusiasm is infectious.
Kittens inspired by kittens.
This is a video.
Okay.
She's showing her book. Actually, she didn't write it. So this is a little girl. She's holding a book called Kittens. When you open it up, we're now seeing that it's a book by David Gibbon, and she's going to be flipping through it here.
We are wine bottles.
We are wine bottles?
So there are a bunch of little kittens kind of perched inside of a wine rack, and so she's just kind of like telling you what she's seeing on the pages.
Brainstorm!
I don't know why she said that.
I want pie. I want beef jerky.
Oh, that's where that was from.
I didn't even know that was a drop. There's just 2 cats. There's nothing about pie or beef jerky, but she's just giving them this
big
dialogue.
Drop on the show.
I want pie. I want beef jerky.
I didn't even know about this. I didn't know about any of this. This is great. I won't play more, but it's a 90-second video of this little girl from 2008 going through this cat book.
Kittens Inspired by Kittens going up against I Love Turtles. The next pairing is a biggie. Even though it's a 7 seed, I would say it's a real biggie, and it is...
I just love hot Cheetos!
Oh, yeah. That's like proto TBTL.
When I die, that will be probably the one piece of audio tape that I'll be most remembered for. Mm-hmm. If anyone remembers me for anything, which is unlikely, it'll be that one little story about... kids eating hot Cheetos at a school in Pasadena, California, which is like one of those. I've told the story of getting that story many, many times, but it was like I just was looking for a story to do from L.A. My ex-wife was a teacher at that school in an after-school program and said, these kids friggin' love hot Cheetos and they're not allowed to have them. It's a whole thing. And I went out there and I was talking to teachers and talking to the kids, and it was sort of like not going anywhere. And I was just like, this is not working. Like, this is not going to be a good story. And this little girl named Shatan Taylor, I believe, just walked up to me, and I said, hey, do you want to tell me about, what do you think about hot Cheetos? And then she just went,
I just love hot Cheetos!
And then she later said, but that your booty do be burning.
Yeah.
Or another little kid said that, your booty will be burning. And it's like, all of a sudden it went from like, this is a non-story to like, these kids are so adorable. And then speaking of our friend Bean Baxter, he started playing that drop on the Kevin and Bean show, R.I.P. And I heard, I didn't actually hear this for myself, but I heard that at some point it even got on the radar of Kanye West, because I think Bean was playing it for Kanye. Like, he was playing that drop for Kanye. And
how
for a while,
have you never talked about this before? I feel like this should have been a top story. That Kanye West was listening to and appreciating something that you recorded? You guys are like colleagues. Sorry.
This is what I heard from Bean back in the day, is that Kanye West made this his ringtone.
I just love hot Cheetos!
That's not even a joke.
What?
I had to have said that on the show. That was like, along with my daytime Emmy, by the way. You know how the listeners sent me a stamp that says daytime Emmy Award winner Luke Burbank? It's so great. Thank you. I think that was like Chrissy Wise and some of the other folks from LRB maybe. But I wrote Addie a little letter yesterday, just a little note of encouragement, telling her something about her. And then I said sincerely, and then I just used the stamp Daytime Emmy Award winner Luke Burbank. And I hope to God she understands it's a joke, because I just imagined, you know, like, I don't know, somehow like me passing away and her going through her stuff and someone seeing it and thinking that I was the kind of dad who would actually sign my letters Daytime Emmy Award. I'd stamp my letters Daytime Emmy Award winner Luke Burbank to my actual daughter. Anyway, I just love hot Cheetos. This has been a biggie in the life of this show, and it is going up against this one.
There is something about the soul of a cat.
Oh, that's a biggie too. That is from. That's you pulled that.
I think I grabbed that. Yeah, there was a time when I cared so much about the show that if I didn't have enough tape to make a new intro, I would just go scouring around. I would try any kind of like, you know, Google term or whatever. I would go to various websites, see if there's anything funny viraling on the internet, just viraling out of control. And I think that I just kind of randomly landed on that. It was like a mini documentary about people who are attending a cat conference of some sort, or some sort of a cat exhibit or cat meetup. And it was a montage of a whole bunch of different voices, but that guy really stood out.
Yeah. There was... I'm sorry, the other people were like, wasn't there someone on a sailboat like sailing around the world with cats?
That's a different drop, actually. That's a parody thing. That's
like a catamaran?
Around the same. Yeah, that's around the same time when I was like just grabbing stuff. That was a parody video about cats. This one, though, I think was a real like mini doc, and that voice that you're hearing, I don't think that person who is saying that to be funny. It's just somebody who's very into cat culture.
Got it. Okay, and then the last two competitors in this particular bracket, or this part of the bracket, would be this little guy.
I don't watch the news because I'm a kid.
God, I love that kid so much. Just the sound of his voice. His Noah Ritter, I believe.
Yeah, good.
Is that kid's name?
Yeah,
so good. I love that kid. Hope he's doing all right.
How do you feel about the cats going up against kids? And this is not me criticizing Jake. I hope Jake knows that.
I'm good with it, because kid like
hot Cheetos going up against Soul of a Cat, which is okay, that's fine. But then, well, this next one, I'm kind of giving it away. I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit.
Well, sure, I'll just play it. That's okay.
Yeah.
It's time for cat massage.
I think it's smart of listener Jake, because if he puts two cute kids up against each other, then one of them has to lose. But if he puts a kid up against an adult saying something silly about a cat, then that's the whole like 16 versus 1 seed. It's kind of like, you know, it would be a shame if let's see, I like turtles and I love hot Cheetos. If those went against each other in the first round, then one of them has to lose. So I'm okay with that.
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah.
So that's the category. And you, Andrew, you've actually been talking to listener Jake about this. Kind of, he was going to, I think, close the voting down, but for this round, but we're going to actually keep it going at least through, I don't know, early next week, so that we can go through and play. There's going to be 2 more sections of the bracket, and we'll play those. So this is we're leaning into this. This is a whole thing. And also, you did something very clever at TBTL.net, Andrew, where you listed these things so people can vote for them. What's the deal on that?
Yeah, there's not a special page set up there, but if you listen to I hope this isn't too complicated, but because Jake was posting these kind of here and there on social media, I wanted also a place where people could just go. And so if you go to the show page for yesterday, you can vote on all of the drops we played yesterday. If you go to the show page for today, you can vote on all the drops that we played today. And then we'll do the same thing, like you said, Monday and Tuesday of next week as we get through the next two categories. And that'll be like kind of a place to go to. So if you go to TBTL.net and just look for the day's show, you'll find all the links in there.
Let's see. This is we're going to go to the third regional. I'm calling this the Southwest Regional. And what are the for those who don't know, this is listener Jake in Chicago put together this list of drops, had people vote on it, and took polls, and ended up with this 64 different TBTL drops. And they're kind of organized by theme. So what's the theme of the drops we're going to hear today?
Radio Days, spelled with an S, by the way. Great restraint, not D-A-Z-E.
That is restraint that I do not usually demonstrate. Mm-hmm. I never miss a chance to go with D-A-Z-E.
Yep, but in this case, Jake is in charge, and it is Radio Days, drops that were played a lot when TBTL was on Cairo Radio.
All right. The number one, the first drop, and it is a 1 seed in this category, is a biggie, and it is
I love Jesus, but I drink a little.
That, of course, how we would introduce Jen Flash Andrews, who will be on the show tomorrow. For those of you who have been wondering how Jen and Jason are doing, they're doing well, and she's going to check in tomorrow. That was Jen's intro drop for the years that the show was a radio show, and then even as a podcast. It will forever be her intro. I think she can tell us tomorrow. I think that is this adorable woman who used to call into the Ellen DeGeneres show, or Ellen would call her. I think she was a charming older gal who famously said to Ellen at some point,
I love Jesus, but I drink a little.
And Jen felt that really summed up her experience. And so it became Jen Flash Andrews' signature audio drop. That is going up. That's a 1 seed going up against a 16 seed, which is, of course...
Priceless granite.
Oh, my God. That was the jingle for a granite company that advertised during our show. And I think we just thought it was funny because the song was the song's a little serious for a topic of countertops.
Now, and again, there was a Jen connection to that as well, right? Like, didn't she do a version of that? Didn't she sing it?
No, she sang for a window company.
Oh, okay. She didn't do her own version of Priceless Granite.
No, Priceless Granite, I don't understand why we got fired when one of our regular bits was to take the actual ads, pull the audio from them, and then play them during the show, sort of low-key making fun of them. I don't understand why that wasn't working as a model for a nighttime radio show on a commercial station.
Were you also kicking out the newscasters in between these segments where you were making fun of the sponsors?
Only if it was snowing outside and people desperately needed to know the traffic conditions on I-5. Only then did we really flex.
Can I mention something about the seeding here, though? Because I just want to make it clear. You had said something. We were questioning Jake's seeding, like why certain things were 18 seeds versus higher seeds. And he did want us to know specifically that they are in here very specifically based on the number of votes that they received when he sent out the master list.
Okay. Thank you for the clarification. Mm-hmm. Again, Jake has done a great job with this. And if you want to go vote on these and see them yourselves, you can go to tbtl.net, right? There's a spot for people to vote on all this stuff that you can help put together, or linking to what Jake's doing.
Go to today's show page, and you will see all of the drops that we're talking about today. Go to Fridays to see all of Fridays, etc.
So I Love Jesus, But I Drink a Little versus Priceless Granite. The next matchup is this is a tight one because this is an 8 against a 9. These are always a real classic, and it is
Sweet Berry Wine.
That's great.
Good old Steve Brule. Needs no explanation. Although I will, just because I love the sound of my voice. That's from. It's actually from Tim and Eric Awesome Show, but it's the Steve Brule segment where Steve Brule goes to do a wine tasting, and hilarious hijinks ensue. Sweetberry Wine is going up against a 9 seed, which is...
Oh, you're going to love the Liff and Tweedle out of this.
Good. I mean, come on. Just never gets old. Remember that one time we did the show, this is when I still lived in Seattle, in the car, and half the show was us recording Cisco on the radio?
Yeah, that was...
I think maybe when we were doing those bonus shows?
It was a bonus show. Do you remember which bonus show? Because I remember it like it was yesterdoodle.
Boy... As head scratchers go, that's a real honeydoodle. The Simpsons, once again, folks. No, where were we going?
That was our Arby's episode, which I believe we ended up taking from. It wasn't really a paywall, but what happened was one year, I think, as part of a dazzling donor type of situation, if you donated a certain amount of money, you would unlock supposedly monthly bonus episodes of TBTL. I think we kind of fell behind and then did some catch up, but we did do 12 of them, and one of them was an episode where you and I just went to Arby's and ate Arby's and recorded ourselves on the way there and there a little bit. It was a great show, and I believe you can find it now just on the regular TBTL website if you search for it, because it was too good to just keep it as a bonus.
I would really implore Arby's food scientists to use this downtime. You probably can still get Arby's. You probably even use TBTL advertiser DoorDash for that. But I would advise the Arby's food scientists to take this time to come up with a really good plant-based Arby's sandwich. Because as I've said many times on the show, that stuff is barely meat as it is. Yep. I know you can reproduce that.
Amen.
I know you can make a plant-based thing. You know what I had yesterday? A full-on Thanksgiving dinner, Andrew, with the corn plant-based roast, which tastes with a little vegetarian gravy on it and some mashed potatoes. You would not know it's not turkey. And I am so looking forward to it. There's a leftover section of this corn product. It's QORN, some weird stuff.
Yeah, right. Listeners were saying this stuff.
It was really one of the ones that I tested at Thanksgiving, and to be honest with you, it looked the absolute worst of all of them, and it tasted the best. You just wouldn't know that it's not turkey, and now I have it left over. And today I'm going to make a turkey sandwich, kind of like the day after Thanksgiving. Anyway, get on at Arby's. That's all I'm trying to say. Because if you do, I will love the living tweedle out of it. Cisco Morris going up against Steve Brule. The next category is a 5 seed against a 12 seed, starting with
drunk people are so meta.
Wow. That drop, you know how like certain smells or certain songs will really take you back?
Mm-hmm.
That audio takes me back to a specific moment of when that drop was recorded. And it honestly, Andrew, I'm looking at my arms. It makes the hair stand up on my arms. It makes me anxious because I remember how much I didn't know how to handle the situation as the host. That was... a journalist named Kelly O, who is lovely and a friend of the program, who had a column in The Stranger called Drunk of the Week, where she would go out and find somebody who was just rip-roaring at a bar and take a picture of them with their permission and then interview them. It was always a fascinating column. It was like, honestly, almost like could have been in the New Yorker or something. But it was in The Stranger, and we thought it would be fun to have Kelly on to get her observations about what it's like to go out and professionally document people who are into their cups. The thing was, she was very nervous about being on our show, and in the most ironic, or you could say meta of twists, she went across the street to the Azteca. She got loaded, came back to our show, brought a bag full of small alcohol bottles, like airline bottles, and proceeded to drink them while doing the show with us, and really not be able to answer any of our questions when we would try to ask her these kind of, not high-minded, but like more sort of, 30,000-foot questions about like how drunk people tend to behave. And her answer just kept being,
drunk people are so meta.
And she was drunk at the time, which was extremely meta.
And isn't there a follow-up? Did she reach out to you? Did she feel bad about that appearance later or something?
I seem to remember that she was sort of mortified later. And again, I love Kelly, and I've known Kelly
super
for years.
Talented,
and seen her at many things, and she's awesome. She just was more nervous about being on the show than she expected, and she tried to help lubricate her nerves, and she over-lubricated. But I remember it must have been in the summertime because it was still light outside.
Mm-hmm.
That's also you did the night show, you know that. Like some thoughts about the show, it's like you can remember it was still light, and then although they actually they've changed the studios around. This was so long ago, Andrew, that where we were all sitting was where the board ops now sit at Cairo. That used to be the air studio, and I remember like being in that air studio and it being still totally light outside and just looking at this person who was, we had like an hour set aside to talk about this, and realizing we can't, like, I believe there may have been a couple of errant swears that were dropped as well. It was a whole thing.
But I also wonder if it's moments like that that made people fall in love with TBTL. You know, it was like it was such a disaster.
I mean, it was probably good. It was probably good radio. It's just, you know, the feeling, Andrew, from hosting when you realize you're supposed to be in charge of this situation. Like, I still get this feeling to this day. It doesn't happen as often. The last time it really happened was probably when we had on Livewire, we had Reese Darby, the Flight of the Conchords guy, on, and he just went full physical comedy on it. He was just like standing up on a stool, screeching like an eagle. He just was like all over the stage, and the live audience was loving it, but I was just like, how is any of this going to be radio later? And then I just realized, like, I have to somehow, with the power of my mind, try to control this situation and bend it into something usable. And that's never the greatest feeling when you're sitting in the host chair.
Yeah, but it is a great drop. You got some gold out of there.
It sure is. And it's going up against this one, which is a 12 seed. That is a piece of tape that we play all the time because, again, it's like the petrified tape. It's a good thing to play when you're talking about someone being scared of something. That was from some kind of viral video where a woman had set up a camera, I think trying to document a lightning strike, and the lightning happened very close to her, and then the thunderclap happened even closer. Or maybe I don't think she was struck by lightning, but I think it struck right near her.
And, you know, you've told me that before. Pardon me. I'm doing what you were doing at the top of the show. You had told me that before, and
you shotgunning a can of polar seltzer water as well.
I don't even have an excuse. I don't know where it was just left over from yesterday. You have told me that before, yet I didn't know that was the backstory on that. The first 100 or so times I heard it, it always sounded like somebody splashing into the water to me. So even though I intellectually know that's the backstory, every time you play it, I just picture somebody screaming and doing a cannonball into the water. Play it again with that image in your mind.
I can absolutely hear that.
Or like somebody jumps in and there's a woman on the dock screaming because somebody just got thrown into the water. Like, that's all I hear.
I wonder how many of these drops that people have been hearing for years, if they missed the original context, have just taken on totally other meanings. Even at the top of the show, because I set up this Juul comment that you made about the Juul smoke device, vape device, I made it sound like you were talking about the singer Juul, which you weren't, but it actually confused your own brain.
Yeah, because I wasn't sure. There's a game called Juul, I think. I mean, I just had no idea if that was new or old or what I was talking about. The Carol Hold My Calls. You've told me a million times that that's Will Forte, but I don't care. In my head, that's Will Arnett. Like, I can only picture Will Arnett doing that.
Speaking of phone answering sounds, this one is missing the phone ring. After the thunderclap, oh my God, the next category starts with a 4 seed, which is
ahoy hoy. Oh, wow, that's interesting. That's such a utilitarian drop. It's funny, like, of course that would be on the list, but there are those drops that you just drop in to, you know, to entertain, to delight.
It means we're going to take phone calls,
right,
or go to the voicemail or whatever.
Exactly, but ahoy hoy is just so utilitarian and so specific that I'm sort of surprised to see it on there. But I shouldn't be surprised because I love the fact that years and years later people will still say, like when we were taking phone calls, live phone calls while we were streaming for 24 hours a year or two ago, people would answer the phone ahoy hoy, or they would start their conversation with us that way.
It remains to this day. And the funny thing is, I don't know, maybe I think 2 newsletters ago, so not the most recent one, but the one before that, you and I were talking about the origin of No Mountain Too Tall and Good Luck to All, and Lynn and Christy combined to send me the link to the show where it's discussed, and also discussed in that conversation was ahoy hoy. So if people have missed that video, subscribe to the newsletter. I don't know if it gets you back issues. If you're on AOL, it doesn't even get you current issues. But yeah, this has been coming up a lot on the show lately. All right. Ahoy Hoy is going up against another classic.
Don't stay in my house if you're dark-sided.
That from Wife Swap. Boy, Wife Swap was a major contributor to the TBTL drops. That was a woman who was very evangelical. Actually, you know what? I don't 100% know what her religious leaning was, but it struck me as pretty evangelical and pretty sort of spiritually based. A lot of woman who's very worried about the dark forces being in her house. I go back and forth on that now. Like, she's somebody who's probably like, it was entertaining at the time, although I don't think we would not go as hard on a show like Wife Swap in this iteration of the show these days. I think because our take, and this is somewhat driven by you, Andrew, but I don't think it's a bad thing. I mean, we've been really loving on the Tiger King because it is just having such a moment, and I feel like the people in Tiger King are quirky, and some of them criminal, but they're not like somebody who appears to be in the midst of a mental health crisis.
Mm-hmm.
I think this woman, and by the way, I still play the drop. At some point, these drops, we've been playing them for so long, they probably have become, they've evolved away from whatever the original thing was, and I almost feel like they're a new piece of art. So I don't feel bad about playing this.
Mm-hmm. Don't stay in my house if you're dark-sided.
But if this popped up on the internet today, I probably would be less inclined to play it because she appears to be a person who is dealing with some sort of mental health issue.
Well, the funny thing is, this is one that actually gives, you know how every now and then I'll play something that some drop in a montage and maybe you don't know the origins of it and you'll say it kind of gives you the bad feeling. And I think the first time we heard the guy pretending to be a Satanist in the edited fake news stories, that kind of gave you a bad feeling the first time. And then again, we end up talking about it and playing it so much that I think that it's not like that anymore. But my point is that there are very few drops that give me the bad feeling, but the dark-sided one does give me the bad feeling. And I think I knew that backstory. I never watched that show. I don't think I was following along with that one. But it's pretty obvious from the context that it's somebody who's like, I assume the same thing that you assume, that somebody who feels like is worried about the devil a lot more than I am, and like screaming, like whatever is happening in the scene where somebody says, don't stay in my house if you're dark-sided. I'm not, by the way, arguing against that drop or even trying to influence how people vote on it. But for me personally, it kind of scares me a little bit, to be honest. It's a scary drop.
Why are you talking about the devil when you should be talking about the Lord?
That's right. Exactly.
I think is not the drop it's going up against, although that would be ironic. All right. So don't go in my house if you're dark-sided, or stay in my house. That's going up against Ahoy Hoy. Next up on the list, another. And by the way, Andrew, I've got about 6 minutes
time here,
of show left in me before I have to go to another meeting. So I'll try to be quick as we move through these. The next one on the list, which is a number 6 seed, is
slapjacking. Classic. See, that doesn't
never
scare
not
me.
Funny.
Doesn't scare me at all.
Never not funny. That was an advertiser on Cairo, which provides what's probably a great service, actually. If you've got impervious surface around your home that's cracked or damaged, you don't necessarily have to replace it. You could have it sort of pumped up by some process called
slapjacking.
Somehow it's even funnier to me that that's our friend Mike doing the voiceover.
Yeah, that's Mike. Holy shit.
Because what happens at a radio station is all those commercials you hear that aren't like a nationally created commercial, which is, a large number of the commercials are just local. It'll just be this kind of small team of production people. It'll be like Mike. It'll be actually our friend Sean DeTore does a lot of them now. And so the idea that it was Mike saying
slapjacking
was extra funny to us.
I never realized that. Now I'm picturing him saying it.
Slapjacking is going up against a classic.
It does not bother me.
Wow.
In fact, I kind of like it because I know there's somebody around.
Love that lady.
Oh, so good.
I'm going to take a shot here. I'm going to shoot my shot and say I think her name might have been Gladys. Although that could be the I Love Jesus and I Drink a Little. They're not the same person, by the way, although I could see why people would confuse them. That woman was the neighbor of a listener. And I think the listener's kids had been using a heavy bag or something, had been doing some kind of a thing.
It wasn't
that they
drumming.
Were concerned.
I always think drumming, but I might have just made that up.
My mind says heavy bag, but
Okay.
I could be wrong. A listener, somebody will know. But the kid was doing something that they were concerned was going to be annoying to their neighbor. It may have been in a condo or apartment complex type situation where there was actually connecting walls. And the neighbor called, and not only was she not annoyed, she liked it because it told her somebody was there.
It does not bother me. In fact, I kind of like it because I know there's somebody around.
It's like, this is the sweetest thing ever. Love her so much. So, all right, that is that category or that sub bracket. Slapjacking versus It Does Not Bother Me. Moving on to the next one, it's a number 3 seed, and it is
Let the Fun Begin.
Now that is right up. That might be the most, just in terms of sheer number of plays, that might be the most played TBTL drop ever because it's played every single show and has been for, I don't know, probably 5-6 years, maybe longer. Oh my God, we've been doing this show forever. That's Tom Shane. Have you seen those hand washing, like those memes going around? It's like showing proper hand washing, and then people put new words underneath them. Andrew, have you noticed that trend?
I don't. Oh, not the lyrics one. The one that shows all the different hand washing in a grid of about 20 squares, and then they'll put some lyrics in the song. Okay, yeah.
Now there was one that somebody sent me that said like corner of 4th and Stewart, downtown, across from the Westlake Center. Now you have a friend in the diamond business.
That's great.
It was like it was Tom Shane's rap put to the hand washing illustrations. Yeah, this is Tom Shane. I of course, when I heard this ad, again, it was probably on Cairo. The idea that this is his version of Letting the Fun Begin.
Let the Fun Begin.
It stopped me in my tracks, and I was like, that's going to find a home on TBTL.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't have known just how pivotal it would be to everything. Let the Fun Begin is going up against...
I feel warm and I'm levitating.
Oh, man. I just rewatched
one
that
of the earliest audio drops that we really got into. That was from this David Blaine parody video where David Blaine, this guy pretending to be David Blaine, is doing street magic on these two guys. One of whom, the one that you just heard,
I feel warm and I'm levitating.
That's Mikey Day. He's on SNL now. And then David Blaine just keeps doing things that are basically annoying to these people under the guise of street magic. and we loved it and played it all the time. That's also where It's Literally Illegal comes from.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Because what he's doing is literally illegal. And then next up, oh boy, a classic that we haven't heard in a long time.
You can't ride in my little red wagon. Boo-ah, boo-ah, boo-ah-ah.
That got its start on the show when I used to stop drinking for Lent. And I used to call it, I think, if I have this all straight, because you talk about not drinking and being on the wagon. And so I think I was just Googling around trying to find an audio drop about being on the wagon. And I found this. It's like some camp counselors or something. Like this is like some camp song. It wasn't at any camps I grew up going to. It was news to me. But I just started playing it every day during Lent that I wasn't drinking. And it became popular in the minds of the listeners, and then even, I guess, inspired the LRB podcast, which was a podcast about our podcast.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
So a Little Red Wagon going up against this to me feels like a relative newcomer, even though it's probably like 7 years old.
I'm sorry, I'm tan.
Oh, wow.
I like to be tan. It just feels good.
That would be Patricia Krenzel, a.k.a. Tan Mom. How do I know her name? Because she is a huge part of the Howard Stern universe now and is on the show on a fairly regular basis. My relationship with Tan Mom has continued for many years now, which is kind of funny.
And weird.
And unexpected. Yeah. I love that drop, though. She got in trouble because she was allegedly, and I don't even remember what the actual story on this was, if she was taking her kid to a tanning booth, if the kid was actually going in the tanning booth or was just accompanying her. But Patricia, a.k.a. Tan Mom, her love of tanning, she's a very tan person to the point where it was kind of odd looking. And so that's why it got all this attention. But she thinks she got in trouble for taking her kid to a tanning booth, which is how she first hit the public scene. So that's Tan Mom. And now we're down to the last two. I guess you could say this would be ironic that we're playing.
Shut it down, America.
Tina Fey from 30 Rock. Not only is it an audio drop, it's now a way of life. And Shut Down America going up against Another weirdly sort of charged, you could say politically charged moment.
Let the eagle
soar. John Ashcroft. One time, what was his job? I can't even remember.
Was he national security? No, he was Attorney General.
Attorney General John Ashcroft, who also dabbled. I mean, it's funny because John Ashcroft was considered a certified oddball at the time. I mean, that song, The Daily Show, had so much fun with that song. It may have actually been Colbert. I just know that, like, those Comedy Central shows went crazy with it. And, like, Ashcroft would not even be in the top 50 craziest people.
I know.
So I don't mean to use that term loosely, but I just mean, like, we couldn't believe that John Ashcroft sang these hokey songs about letting the eagle soar. And it's like, it's nothing compared to the odd behaviors that we all observe on a daily basis now. So that's it. So that's the Southwest bracket, Southwest region. And we have until Friday to get to the Northeast region.
That's right. And then I believe on Friday or Saturday, Jake is going to cut off voting. Maybe I'm going to ask him if he can extend it to Saturday so that I can put all of these links again in this Friday's newsletter. So you can look forward to that if you're not a Yahoo user. Sorry, Yahoo users.
Yeah. Oh, God. Oh, yes, oh, yes, oh, yes. That sound. I'm sorry. Oh, Tesh, oh, Tesh, oh, Tesh.
Oh, nice.
Got there. That sound can only mean one thing, and that is it's time for the final bracket of the TBTL Drops of Stupider Drop Contest Round 1. We are still in the field of 64. This is a contest to March Madness style contest, try to figure out what the top drop of TBTL of all time is. Where can people find these drops and vote on these and vote in this contest, Andrew?
So, a few places. I know that listener Jake in Chicago, a.k.a. the Perfect Daddy, sorry, Luke,
Well,
who has created this.
I'll allow it this week because he's created a lot of hashtag
He
content
certainly
for
has.
us.
So he created this whole situation. He created this situation, not the COVID thing, the drops of stupider thing. And so he has been putting these voting links on social media. You can find them on the Stens page on Facebook. I think you can find them in the Slack general channel. But also, if you're looking for just a very quick way to find it, I am putting them on each day's show page. So today's voting you can find on today's show page at tbtl.net. And I believe the last round we did was on Monday. So you can find some on Monday's page, and then I'll put them in the newsletter today.
All right. So that
Sorry
is
you
how
asked.
this is going to work.
Well,
no, I appreciate it.
Long
that was
answer.
good. I'm sorry. That's not. No. You know what you heard in my voice? I'm like toggling between 9 different systems on my screen. So I'm playing Round Ball Rock in one system, and then I'm trying to think. You know how this is. I'm like, okay, if I turn down the overall volume on my drops, it's going to turn down Round Ball Rock, but then it's going to turn down the other system that I'm using to play the drops, and then also. Because of the vagaries of this particular Google Doc that we're using for these things, I can't really print it out. So I've got to have the doc up on my screen. I know that I'm starting in the most interesting part of this. But believe me, this actually will get interesting because there are a few drops on this list. This is I'm calling this the Northeast Regional, okay? Well, and what is the organizing principle of this one, Andrew?
Oh, this is, do I have it in front of me? I think this one is TBTL Organics, drops that originated on TBTL and are likely only played on TBTL. So
I should hope, looking at this list.
Yeah, they're not from TV shows. They're not from, movies or anything like that.
This is an interesting category or an interesting region because there's a few of these drops in here that aren't drops, and one that I'm going to make the executive decision to not play. As I'll explain in a moment. But anyway, it starts with a 1 seed against a 16 seed. And the 1 seed, of course, is...
Oh, my gosh.
The so-called marsupial gurgle. Or as it appears in my system, Andrew Weird Sound Short.
What's Weird Sound long?
And that is... let me see if I can find it. Fine, you did it.
I was just joking. I assume there isn't one.
There probably is. Okay, these are the ones. This is Andrew Weird Sound Short. This is Andrew Weird Sound 2 Isolated. If we make it,
we'll talk.
Oh,
this
that
is
was two.
Columbo,
That was
Andrew, Weird Sound.
Oh, sir, just one more thing.
Okay.
This is Just Hear Andrew, Weird Sound.
I'm just here so I won't get...
This is Wickedly Talented Andrew, Weird Sound.
Please welcome the wickedly talented.
This is Andrew, Weird Sound, Barabajaggle. This is Andrew, Weird Sound, Full. Do you think we're happier or less happy with all of the ways that we can just have whatever we want whenever we want it?
I mean, happier big
Still
picture. I don't know.
blows
I'm
my
happier with my
mind.
media options.
Andrew, Weird Sound, Kanye.
I mean, happier big picture. I don't know. I'm happier with my media options.
Oh, I remember this was actually kind of. I mean, credit goes to Kanye and his producers, but it was like not the worst song.
I'm trying to find. I was on the Marsupial Gurgle website, of course, our buddy Lynn's website that was kind of launched by all this ridiculousness, and he had isolated. He has a great page on here that gives the entire history of like what was going on when I made that weird sound, and then all of the different songs. I'm having trouble finding it on the fly here, but he had posted every song that you mixed this into. There were quite a bit. You had put a lot. You put more work into that show where you remixed the Marsupial Gurgle into things than I think you had like the entire year leading up to it.
Oh, and have since.
Yeah.
Believe me. I used up all of my energy on that one show. So Andrew Weird Sound, a.k.a. the Marsupial Gurgle, that is a 1 seed, and it's going up against... the funny thing about this is I never even realized the unfortunate entendre that was happening with this next drop. It is my mom, Susie, and for a while on the show, I'm always trying to figure out ways to like put her voice into the show because she makes me laugh, and so for a while, I think the idea was to have her. I would just play this drop to sort of set up what was going to happen. Now it's Tom Shane, Let the Fun Begin. But I believe maybe in the radio days, especially,
it was. I was with me
this
on the show a lot too. No, you made this change.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you made this change relatively recently, like in the past several years, because I remember you telling me why you made the change.
Yeah, because this is the drop.
Hi, this is Luke's mom, Susie, coming tonight on TBTL.
Now, I think that probably the origin was we had her record that for the radio show, and then I found it at some point once we were just a podcast, because she's saying tonight, and then I think I just started playing it because I thought it was a funny way to set things up, and then at some point somebody mentioned, it sounds like your mom is saying something kind of sexual.
Well, didn't you?
Like,
you asked.
right.
I thought the story was that you specifically went into a studio in Cairo and got her on the phone, and then like tried to get her to do a bunch of like liners and bumps for the show, and she just couldn't get the line right. Isn't that the story?
It's very possible. I mean, I've forgotten more about TBTL over the course of my life than I can ever even begin to quantify. So that's very I do remember wanting to get a bunch of liners. I will say, too, maybe that's one of the things I love so much about the Le Batard show. They figured out how to make Dan's – they have all these audio elements that are Dan Le Batard's dad, and they're great. They work really well. Mine were a little less successful.
Hi, this is Luke's mom, Susie, coming tonight on TBTL.
But if you vote for this drop, you're basically sexualizing my mom. So good luck with that, everybody.
Wow.
No, that's not true. Next pairing is it's a classic 8 versus 9 seed. This is going to be a tough one. It is in the 8th position. It's this one.
Make me a filet mignon or mignon.
I love that drop. Never stops making me smile. Our friend Sean Dettori, Japan's #1 mixer. I don't even remember why in the world he was saying that, what the topic was, but
make me a filet mignon or mignon.
This is great. Going up against again Susie B, saying one of the more famous lines I think in TBTL lore.
I say what's up,
That's
dog?
a tough one, man. Wow.
Yeah, that's a biggie.
That's a tough vote there.
That is my mom. I think on the show, like being interviewed, And I don't know if I prompted her to do it or she just did it on her own, but my mom has had this evolving sort of foghorn leghorn character that she'll do sometimes, or she was years ago, where it would be sort of like the "ase, that foghorn leghorn kind of vocal tick, but then she would go into a "What's up, dog?" And this is the result.
I say, what's up, dog?
I don't know, man. I know that I'm not supposed to put my fingers on the scale, but I don't know what I vote for in that. I guess I'll have to think about it later as I'm voting.
Well, you know what's funny about these? Because, I mean, again, the category is these are TBTL created drops. It's a lot of Sean and a lot of my mom in here and a lot of you. So that brings us to the next pairing, or what would have been a pairing. This is the first drop in the category. It is a 5 seed, and it is, again, Sean Dottori.
Bagel, bagel, beagle, boggle, boogle.
That must have been a conversation about how we pronounce bagel.
That's my guess.
Right? Don't you think that's sort of... You know what's weird is that makes me hungry for a bagel.
We have some everything bagels in the freezer. I almost ate one yesterday, but it's in the freezer. That's always a good governor on your eating, and whether or not you're eating because you're legit hungry or just because you want to put something in your face. And I was really eyeing those yesterday, but then I thought about all the things it would take to get that thing unfrozen and in time. How am I going to feel when this thing is defrosted? And then I was like, I'm not even hungry. I'm just looking at these bagels.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's been talking about this online, and we're all, I think we're all having the same experience, which is just being trapped in the house with a bunch of food and then having to really ask yourself, like you said, Andrew, am I bored or am I hungry right now? And I talked already about how I've been sort of usually I'm eating at least another full dinner-sized portion of food, usually between 9 and 10 o'clock at night, which is not the greatest thing to do, but I'm trying to throughout the day not go too crazy with the snacking, but also I made this sandwich the other day that I am so jazzed about. Okay, it's using this field roast, kind of like sort of a lunch meat type thing, but it's made out of roasted tomato. It's made by the company Field Roast. It's a thing they put on this sandwich I like to get from Whole Foods called the Voodoo Vegan Sandwich. So I put a bunch of that on. I put some Havarti cheese down. But the piece de resistance, Andrew, is then I put sauerkraut on it because it tastes basically like corned beef. This is like a fake meat product that kind of approximates corned beef, I guess. And I make basically a Reuben.
Yeah, sounds good.
And it is so good. I have in my life never put sauerkraut on a sandwich. But then you think about if you and I went to if we went to Junior's in Brooklyn. By the way, that's got to be a life goal for us.
Yeah.
To survive this, to thrive, and then to someday get back together at Junior's in Brooklyn and reorder that massive amount of food that we ordered that last time.
That was good. Also, it's interesting to think that you and I have never been to L.A. together. We both have a lot of L.A. experiences. You more than me, but I did live down there for almost 2 years, and of course, all the delis and everything, they're New York-style Jewish delis that are down there. And we've never actually shared a sandwich or anything. Well, I wouldn't share a sandwich with you, but we have never shared a table at any of those great establishments. We've never been in that city at the same time.
That's weird, because I feel like after we did what I thought of as being a somewhat disastrous TBTL live at the Troubadour, I remember we went to me and Rico and Brendan from the Dinner Party Download and Vanessa. We all went to Cantor's and sort of celebrated, I guess, that the show happened or whatever. And I just remember loving that sandwich so much. What I'm really excited about with this little home version that I'm making is it really does scratch that itch of that, you toast the bread. I mean, probably I should butter the bread up and I don't know, fry it up a little bit or something, because that's one of the things. You get one of those Jewish deli sandwiches, the bread is just mostly grease, which is so good. But even if you just toast it, get a little crisp on there, it kind of does the job. But it really is. It's almost as good as one of those sandwiches. And I cut up a huge pickle. Got to get a Clausen. You have to. It's
oh yeah. I'm glad to hear you're a Clausen man. You and I, we have there are various foods that you and I feel passionate about but feel differently about them. I could not disagree with you more about the size of a hot dog, etc. I like a big hot dog and a small bun. I want a lot of meat. and that's really important to me. But I'm really glad that your go-to pickle, is a Clausen, a chilled dill pickle like that. I do not like the pickles that, in most cases, I do not prefer the pickles that are on the shelves in the grocery store. You must go to the refrigerated section of your local grocer and buy the pickles that are in that area.
I do then dip the pickles in cottage cheese.
Of course you do.
So is that would you and I? Would that be where our paths diverge?
The good news is you were making me so hungry before, and now you've made me sick. So
it's a service I provide.
Appreciate it.
Okay, so next up on the list after Bagel, Bagel, Boggle, Boogle is the drop RAR, which is, of course, my ex Vanessa, and it was a huge part of the show. It was awesome, not awesome. I think when something was good, we would play RAR, but Vanessa and I aren't together anymore, and I feel a little I don't know how she would feel about having her voice played on the show and used as part of the kind of audio entertainment that this show brings. And so that's why I haven't really played that drop in the years since that relationship ended. And so just out of basically respect for her, I guess people can vote for RAR if they want. I mean, because in a way that would be honoring, that would be honoring someone, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but I just, out of respect, kind of don't want to play the drop on the air because I just don't know how she would feel about that.
My guess
you
is
can vote for it.
Yeah, I mean it's out there, but yeah, my guess is that Vanessa probably. I mean, I've been sending her a lot of invites to be on the show, and I have not heard back.
Yeah.
So chances are she's not super interested in being a part of the show.
So there you go. So that's why, in case you've been wondering all these years why that we don't play the RAR drop, that's why. It's just kind of a respect thing. So that category is Bagel, Boggle, Boogle versus RAR. And then next up, you've got let's see, what is the seeding here? It's a 4 seed against a 13. It starts with the 4 seed.
Oh, explicit. Ooh.
That's a strong drop, I have to say, at this point. That's become a real go-to on the show.
I'm a little confused, though. Is that 2 drops in one? I thought it was just ooh explicit, but it's oh explicit ooh?
Well, I'm seeing it's written as oh explicit because... So maybe
explicit.
So you're thinking maybe it's just that one. I don't even know if I have
the weird thing is I thought it went ooh explicit, not oh explicit. I don't know, man.
I think I reversed it at one point.
Interesting.
I'm not even kidding.
You're just like
for
Missy
reasons
Elliott
that I can't remember
over there.
I've told you the story I'm sure I've told you and the listeners the story a million times of when I worked at KUOW, taking that Missy Elliott song and going into a studio and like putting it on reel to reel so I could put my thing down, flip it, and reverse it and see what she's actually saying.
Oh, that's funny. I did that, but just at my house using like Adobe Audition or like using my digital software at some point long after that song had been out.
I think it was the days before digital editing was as prevalent, and I took the song somehow, like maybe the CD, I recorded it onto reel-to-reel tape. So then I could like just manually go and back it up and figure out what she was saying.
Was your mind blown? Because she's just saying the chorus backwards again. And
put my thing down, flip it, and reverse it backwards.
Yep.
I thought I had really I remember coming out of that studio and being like, I figured it out.
Mm-hmm.
And then a bunch of people being like, we don't care about that. It's a big deal to me, though. All right, so... from that thing that I flipped and reversed to what is probably one of the least pleasant sounds you'll hear on TBTL, which is part of its charm. It's the intro I would play for my brother David from the basement when he would come on the show. Oof. It reminds me of this sound effect from the sound box. They're both just like
way too
3
long.
seconds too long,
and
just an actual unpleasant to the ear sound. So of course that's
so that's the entrance sound that you play for DFTB, and then that's up against ooh explicit from me. So it's kind of a referendum on me versus David, right? Like it's not really about the sound; it's about who everybody likes more and deserves the platform.
I mean, you're playing a dangerous game if that's how you're looking at this, Angie. I have those feelings about various things, but then I choose to just push them way down where I don't remember them anymore.
Into your toes.
So that's that matchup, U Explicit against a DFTB. And then the next category, or the next pairing, is a 6 seed, a legendary drop in the TBTL verse, and it is
Power Out.
Listener Linda in Australia. And, I mean, who could have known that would become a sonic signature of this show, and that would actually literally end every program?
Yeah, I can't even remember. I mean, I remember she left us a voicemail. We had been kind of we'd been using the phrase power out for a while, but we loved that she said power out at the end of her voicemail. I think that she both started the tradition of saying power out at the end of voicemails, and I think we just played it, had a good laugh, and I just tagged it on the end of the show that day whenever we played her voicemail.
Like a little Easter egg.
Like a little Easter egg. I used to put more Easter eggs in the show. I think that drop kind of ended up replacing them, and then I think I just did it again the next day, and then it just became a thing. Like, I don't even know, did we ever talk about it? Like, I don't know.
I also want to say that maybe it was the first time someone just uttered power out as an ending. Like, we would always talk about, I don't have a power out for this or whatever. Were we like just yelling power out as an ending at that point? Or did Linda invent that too?
No. Power out came from the same thing that Dazzling Deets came from.
No, I know that.
Oh, yeah.
But I know that it came from our Mad Manning session. But my question was, were we literally just saying power out?
I don't think in that way. I think we would joke and be like, "Well, I guess I don't have a power out," or I mean, I think it was a slow ramp up to that. I think using it as punctuation was probably
right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know, but I think it was. I think it all happened pretty organically.
Well, congratulations, listener Linda, for becoming part of the sonic architecture of the show, and for making it into the Drops of Stupider contest. Now, a person who you won't hear in the Drops of Stupider contest is actually yours truly, one Lukey B. Le Leyende de Bigoti Burbo. Because this is the only part of this whole... And by the way, I'm weirdly flattered to not be in this, and I don't know why. I can't explain that feeling. But it feels like somehow I'm above all of this. I'm not in the competition.
Well, you play the drops.
Caesar.
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, you're the person who plays the drops. You don't play drops of yourself. Every now and then, I'll sneak one into the intro,
yes,
but it's
none
so
that
funny.
Are like
super, that are like well known.
Right. So this would have been the only place I would have maybe been in the contest, which is a drop called "You'll Know When I'm Doing the Accent," which was a running gag when we were in Australia, because it was a battle to not slip into. Just accidentally slip into trying to do an Aussie accent. And I think I kept saying to you, "You'll know when I do the accent." But that's not really a drop is the problem. That's just a thing we were saying on the show. Like, I don't think it's ever been played as a drop, but we've now just repeated it. It's just a go-to joke, but it doesn't exist as an isolated piece of audio. So I can't really play it for people, or I'm more accurately put, I was too lazy to go back and try to find an episode where I had randomly said that.
But that's still not the same thing, though. So I'm glad you didn't do that. Like, as you'd be retroactively talk about the pole wagon the podcast here.
Mm-hmm. Sure,
you can't. You can't create a drop for this. What I would like to do, if you don't mind, is I'll give you some options to replace it with, because I know this always makes you really comfortable when we kind of play your voice on the show. We could play
bone.
Oh, that's not even from our show. That's from Wait Wait.
That's from Wait Wait.
Yeah, let's see here. How about this one? This is from our show, right?
No.
We could do that.
Rubber baby, buggy bumper. Rubber baby, buggy bumper. Rubber baby, buggy bumper.
Oh, that one gets out of control. So anyway,
Listen to how fast I talk.
I know. You're very, very good. I'll leave you with this.
You got this.
All right.
You know, it's funny because I always give you, I often play drops of your voice back to you, which I know is kind of disconcerting, but I don't realize how disconcerting it is until I hear myself in one of the intro packages, and I'm always like, oh, is that what I sound like? It's just a terrible feeling. And yet I do it to you day in and day out, which makes me a bad friend and colleague.
I blew your brain the other day when I think you were here. We were doing a show together back in the before times, as you say.
Yeah.
And I think in one of the intros, I put that sound of you getting into an ice bath. Remember you recorded one for a video one time? You're just like, pop, 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 and it goes on for like a half hour of you just making that noise.
Well, speaking of our voices on the show, or your voice on the show, the next category starts with a 3 seed, and it is one Andrew Lewis Walsh.
Oh, shit. Things are hard.
That's a rare drop of my own voice that when I'm saying like, you know how we are triggered sometimes by words that we just hear in everyday life, but it reminds us so much of a drop that we just, like, in our brains, you and I have talked about this before, we'll either say the drop out loud. I know listeners do this too. Very rarely does that happen with my own voice, except every now and then I will say that phrase or something like that phrase, not trying to be funny, just talking. That was me just talking, and it sounds so much like the drop that it startles me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, shit. Things are hard.
Do you remember what the context was?
No, I have
Just
no
life?
idea. Do you? Yeah, no, I mean, I don't think,
No.
I think I was saying, I think that was like a quote within a quote. Not a quote, but it was like I don't think things were really hard at that moment. I think I was just talking and then, maybe saying something like, and then your brain is like, oh shit, things are hard. It was more of a hypothetical, I think.
Okay, so that drop, a 3 seed, is going up against a 14 seed, which is...
Nailed it.
Wow.
That amazes
Okay,
amazes me. I always thought that was Jen Flash Andrews, and you would play that at the end of every episode of TBTL in the radio days.
It's so funny because...
Nailed it.
That is such a janky piece of audio that I have not listened to in years. It's so janky because I, for some reason, decided that it would be... I wanted the sound to be someone saying nailed it and then the high five. There was some video, I don't remember the origin of it, some probably online viral sketch video where somebody was just talking about things and they would say nailed it, and then they would I think they would actually give 5 to someone, and then they would say nailed it. But I got it in my head that it was better for it to be nailed it and then the hand clap sound.
Mm-hmm.
But if you listen, Andrew, you can hear how bad this hand clap is because it's like the cymbals in Strawberry Fields. It's like the sound is going in the wrong direction.
Nailed it.
I don't think it's going in the wrong direction. I think that there's like almost a ring out at the end that then gets cut off. Like, in fact, I didn't know that was a hand slap. I thought that was I thought you didn't cut the tape soon enough. I thought that was a mistake.
No, it's because if I were to keep playing, it's because it was nailed it.
Right, yeah.
And so now I made it into nailed it. Now I'm going to see if I can find nailed it video. We haven't even gotten to music for your weekend. These listeners are just
gosh.
There's been a lot of things in the intervening years that have been called nailed it. That have been, looks like there's actually some legit TV shows and projects that have all existed under the name Nailed It. So I think our little viral video is lost to history, or at least I can't find it in this moment. But that's how we used to end the show. And then we got Listener Linda, and everything got better because the Listener Linda audio is much better then.
Nailed it.
Yeah, and there must have been a long period of time in between sign-offs. I bet, as a matter of fact, that when we started using – this is ringing a bell now – when we started using Linda, I'll bet you I was excited because it was bringing back kind of an element from the old radio shows that I loved so much as a listener.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm trying to find this Nailed It video. I'm pulling a real Jody Mack here, and it's like trying to make me join Facebook, and I was like, nah.
I mean, there's a million.
So anyway, next up, the next pairing is a 7 seed against a 10 seed, and it is starting with me unmuting the audio. Here we go.
It's your lucky day. You just found a USB flash drive in the parking lot.
I was trying to explain to somebody the other day about how at our job, Andrew, which we are compensated for doing, we have decided, or at least I have decided, it is appropriate for us to take the mandatory training sessions, isolate the audio, and mercilessly mock the mandatory training sessions for the place where we work, where they pay us money, which allows us to pay our rent and mortgage. And this is just such a piece of tape.
It's your lucky day. You just found a USB flash drive in the parking lot.
It's the only way to survive those things mentally. Everybody who's taken one of those knows that they are just painful. And I understand the desire and the need and the legality and all the reasons why we take those types of training videos, whether it be about sexual harassment in the workplace or IT issues in the workplace or cybersecurity. I understand it on an intellectual level, but there's nobody, with the possible exception of listener Eric, who actually makes them for a living. There is nobody who enjoys taking them. And so I think that by turning it into hashtag content, as our dazzling donor today, Amy, might have said, that's the only way we can actually get through it together.
It's a testament to how not uptight our bosses are.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, no one has ever said, hey, could you not do that? Hey, it's a job, and there's going to be some parts of the job that you're just going to have to kind of get through. That's what people do in the world. Do you have to play it on the show? We paid however much money for those things, and no one's ever said that to us, which makes me immensely grateful for this job and for our bosses who either just are so not uptight or are so not listening that we're able to do.
It's your lucky day. You just found a USB flash drive in the parking lot.
I was on a meeting today, or I was in a meeting today. I was at a meeting today. I don't know. It was a Zoom
circling back
situation.
To the parking lot of a meeting.
There were a lot of people on this call. I'm going to say it was like a departmental meeting. I'm going to say I can actually picture the grid. There were like I'm going to say about 20 people on this call, including our boss, who was leading the meeting. And let's see, how much can I tell without getting in trouble? We're talking about contingency plans. If anybody, if any specific teams or shows get, hit by the virus or something and people are losing work, what are the contingency plans for the shows? Somebody mentioned, I think I can say this, somebody mentioned passwords should be part of the contingency plans, right? Because if somebody goes down, we got to make sure that other people can access those systems. And somebody, I will not say who, suggested maybe putting together like a Google Doc with all of the relevant passwords, to which our dear friend and colleague Kiki Lola was like, insert drop. No. You cannot create a Google Doc that lists all of the passwords. Please.
It's your lucky day. You just found a USB flash drive in the parking lot.
That is the only thing worse for the cybersecurity of our company.
So they have this whole conversation about, they're like, okay, there are ways to securely share passwords, and there are systems set up for this. We will use those systems. And of course, and I'm thinking I can't not make the joke. Like in this meeting, even though it's a TBTL joke, I cannot not make the joke about finding a USB drive. But I also know that trying to insert myself into a Zoom meeting where you have 20 people on and everybody's trying to be very good and not talk over everybody and have their microphones muted if they don't have anything to say that's not important, I cut somebody off, and I knew it was going to happen. I tried to wait for a moment where I could kind of get in there and say, okay, just one other question, though. I did find a USB drive in the parking lot. What should I do with that? And I did get the joke off, but I had to kind of step on somebody more important than me who was trying to move on to her next point, and then I started talking at the same time she did. Spoof. And it was kind of a disaster. And it was one of those things where I knew I shouldn't have done that, but I had to grind the meeting to a halt so I could jam in my joke from Seattle.
Do you think that people remember that drop or that moment of that training video the way we do? Because most of these other people are not doing a Cockamamie podcast where they play it 3 times a day. Well, I even get the joke.
Definitely got a laugh out of Kiki, who I believe said, she said, I knew you were going to say that. And I do think that because I don't think it's just ours. That has become such a big thing. And there have been news stories recently. Do you remember a member of, I believe, the Secret Service inserted a USB drive of sketchy origin into a government computer? This is a thing. And I think that if you were to type USB drive in the parking lot on Google, my guess is you would find other memes and the like.
Yeah. So that is, here in the competition. Let me get back to my other screen and tell you that it is going up against this one, which is, I see.
This is really smart. This is a smart matchup.
Very, very smart matchup. It is going up against.
I cannot believe he just told that joke.
Another training module that we had to do.
That was like workplace, appropriateness. That was like an anti-workplace harassment video.
If there's anything that we're violating with these drops, it's more that one than the cybersecurity. We're not putting anyone at risk for cybersecurity problems by playing the USB drive, but making a joke out of a module that's supposed to teach you to not make inappropriate jokes.
I cannot believe he just told that joke.
That one's, that's probably on the line.
Yeah, but I also grabbed two more, or maybe I have longer versions. I have this one, too.
What an idiot. I think this guy's sense of humor never developed past junior high school.
I believe that was from the same scene. And then
I'm so funny. I can't believe my dad didn't think I could make it as a stand-up comedian.
I want to take that character, and I want to, fully develop a long-form play about the relationship between that guy and his... and, his dreams of becoming a stand-up comedian, and his dad being like, you'll never make it. And then, how it affected his life. I mean, it gets real Arthur Miller on it pretty quickly, I think. But I want to explore that. I want to expand that universe out.
I'm picturing a musical, a big final number where it's like, and now I make them laugh, or some big closeout number like that.
I was being quiet there because that's definitely going to make a return appearance on the show. Andrew singing, and now I make them laugh. Which is apropos because the next drop that we arrive at, this is the final category, the final little pairing here, is the Walsh Helm Scream.
Yeah! Wow.
I mean, this thing is already a media sensation. It's already showing up in all kinds of television programs, thanks to listener Mike for inserting the Walsh Helm Scream into things.
Oh, Hollywood Mike?
Yeah. I guess if it wins, it feels like the rich getting richer. I'm not trying to influence the outcome, but it's if the Walsh Helm Scream wins this, and it's showing up on what was it? Relationship goals. Oh, I forgot to watch that show. Dang it! I've been so busy that I forgot to watch the show, the reality show last weekend that your Walsh Helm Scream was going to be in.
That's right. I forgot about that too. I'm sorry, Hollywood Mike. I'm also sorry that I'm trying to really force this nickname on you. It is the laziest nickname. It is so bad. It's so bad.
Well, it's also confusing because we have noted Hollywood power broker Win Rosenfeld.
Right, that is true. Yeah, I don't know. We'll come up with something.
Maybe Holly Weird Mike.
I was actually going to say
power
that.
broker Win Rosenfeld and Holly Weird Mike. Maybe that's the tweak. And then once again, we arrive at a bit of a unfortunate situation. Thankfully, this doesn't involve ex relationships of mine. It just involves a drop that I've never been able to find, which was Sean DeTore saying chèvre. I think the story was we used to have cooking with Sean DeTore, and he would make things, but he would often not have the right ingredients or be unable to find the right ingredients. And one time he went to the store, he was making something for the show, and I think it needed some kind of like a cheese of some kind. Or maybe even a cream cheese or something like that, and he couldn't find whatever the normal thing was, so he instead bought some chèvre, and his pronunciation of chèvre was so funny to us. Now, I don't know if that was a drop we used to play, and it just got stuck in the system at Cairo and never migrated. I mean, we probably lost the drops that we have. It's so funny, actually, because the drops that we have in this computer at my house in Bellingham, we had this intern, and I can't believe I'm going to forget his name because he was actually a great intern. I believe he went into the hospitality program at Disney after being our intern because that was really his dream job. But because he was younger than me and more technologically savvy, when we got fired, he figured out a way to migrate a bunch of the drops out of, is it NewsBoss or ENPS? What do they use at Cairo? What did they used to use?
Yeah, NewsBoss, I think.
He figured out how to basically take a bunch of drops out of NewsBoss and dump them onto like a cloud drive. This is the early days of the cloud. And then I sort of hit download on my home computer, and then just whatever showed up is what we have. It was a very it was not complete. It was not thorough. It was not and then that's not a reflection on him. It was just kind of we were literally what can we get? Let's snag some stuff on our way out so that we have some of this. But there was no start at A and go to Z and we'll bring it all with us. It was just kind of hey, can you try to throw some of this stuff onto the internet if that's possible? So it's very haphazard, and somehow in that process, Chèvre never made it.
Yeah.
But if you guys want to vote for it because it looms large in your mind, go nuts.
Well, here's where I struggle with that. I think I also suffer from some false memories, but I can hear that in my head very, very clearly.
Me too.
And I feel like it survived post radio. I mean, I listened during the radio days, but I think most of this stuff really kind of sticks in my brain since I was, kind of part of the show. And I feel like there was a time when you would play that when I was a part of the show because I can hear it in my head so much. It's definitely not, and I think we both agree, it's definitely not one of those things where it was never turned into a drop. Like the you'll know it when I'm doing the accent. It was used, right? Like you do remember firing it as a standalone drop.
Man, yes, but there are tons of things that I think I remember, and then I find out later that I was misremembering it. So what I don't understand is how it would have been at any point in my system, and now it's gone. Because it's the only... If I was playing it from my house, it should still be in the computer somewhere. It should still be in iTunes. I don't know where it would have gone. So,
I do know. I can tell you this because there was a blog post that was posted on November 11th, 2014, and I guess I can assume who was writing the blog. There was still a My Northwest blog about TBTL long after I was in LA and we were doing the show. Somebody wrote, "Not since the Sean DeTore's Chèvre Snickers pie debacle has anyone embarrassed himself on the show more than Andrew did yesterday." And then it goes on to talk about how I embarrassed myself apparently on the cereal show. And so apparently it was
I must have written that. Talk about a public roasting.
No, I'm sure this was Frizzell. Remember we had various guest bloggers.
People were guest blogging,
and I think he was our blogger for a while. Yeah, so it was Chèvre Snickers pie, is what Sean originally made. Yes, that's exactly
what it was.
Yeah.
So maybe some of the, I don't know, it'd be weird, but maybe the listeners have it. I don't know if the Marsupial Gurgle website has it. But I cannot find it. So those of you who know what that drop is, just imagine it in your mind and imagine it going up against the Welshhelm Scream. And that brings us to the end of the round of 64. Okay. I guess people can vote through when's the voting cutoff?
I think it's going to cut off tomorrow, Saturday, probably around noon Pacific time, I think. So again, I'm putting these, I will put these all on today's show page at tbtl.net, and it will be in the TBTL newsletter for those of you who get that.
All right. And again, thanks, listener Jake, for coming up with the idea. It's actually been really fun. And so we'll see what the round of 32 looks like. Hey, let's do this. Let's do round 2 of the TBTL drops of Stupider. I've got this printout right here. I guess we'll just start with the kids and animals category.
Yeah. Do you have the round ball rock? If not, I can play more saxophone.
Yeah. Can you? I forgot. I mean,
I don't have round ball rock in front of me, but I do have.
I like that round 2. This is the sexy sax round.
Yeah, I like it. Okay, you got 15 seconds before it goes away.
All right, in the kids and animals department, we had "I Feel Happy of Myself" against "Is This Real Life?" A 1 versus a 16 seed, and the winner was
"I Feel Happy of Myself."
Sorry, that's probably a little loud.
That's okay. I got to say, you are doing a sound machine. You're reading it, and you're playing the drop. I'm not joking. Yeah. That's not. Let's recognize that, people. I'm telling you, from being the person who sometimes has to fire things, it's not as easy as it sounds.
Andrew, we're all giving back in the way that we can during these trying times, and some of us are just giving a little more, and I'm one of those people.
So it was
a cameo later playing this sound effect and saying, "No drops for you."
No drops.
By the way,
for you.
That's the guy playing the Soup Nazi. His second career should be as a Tony Shalhoub impersonator.
He does look a little bit like Tony.
If he shaves the stash, he could pretend to be Tony Shalhoub.
Is there a career for a Tony Shalhoub impersonator? Do enough people just know the Shalhoubs? Just like if you drop the name. I mean, I love that guy. I love Tony Shalhoub.
Oh,
I love
Monk?
Yes, The Man Who Wasn't There is a
forget-
great movie.
How about I forget the name of the character, but the character he played on Wings?
Oh, yeah.
His brother invented something called the Shapoopy. Years ago when I was on Wait, Wait, Tony Shalhoub was the guest and explained the Shapoopy in detail. It was amazing. It's like a bag. It's like a bag thing that you basically put under your dog's butt when they're pooping so that it doesn't even go on the grass. It goes right into this bag. And I believe it is called the Shapoopy. I mean, listen, if I had a chance to have real or even an impersonator of Tony Shalhoub at my party, I would do it.
Yes. I heard he's a very nice guy in real life as well. A friend of mine, I lived in his neighborhood and knocked on a door. Didn't know it was his house, I think. I think they were doing some door-to-door, maybe selling candy. I don't know what they were doing, but ended up knocking on his door, and he was just a very, very nice guy. And if it was candy they were selling, he bought it.
I believe he's from like Milwaukee or something,
Yeah.
which is also not where I expect Tony Shalhoub to be from. Okay. So I feel happy of myself is moving on. Next...
So farewell, though. I mean, let's just take 1 minute to can we steep on this for 1 second? So no more Is This Real Life? That was Daniel from The Dentist. And by the way, it was a landslide, 88% of the vote. I don't know if you said that or not.
I didn't, so thank you for the clarification.
Yes.
Next up was a game of cats versus A Cat is an Angel That Poops in a Box. And the winner was, to the relief of everyone,
A cat is an angel that poops in a box.
Yeah.
that I think we're all very... I was tempted to cat roll you there, Andrew, but I do have too much going on here with various knobs and dials and sound effects boxes. And so, yes, we will send Game of Cats. We will throw Game of Cats theme through the moon door and make the drop fly.
That was a close one, 51%. So we could be living in a very different reality right now.
Next up, it was, if you got cute hair, I'm going to say, damn, girl, you got some cute hair, from the Pygo Your Life verse, going up against the very adorable little kid hearing this sound effect and then laughing maniacally. And the winner was...
If you got cute hair, I'm going to say, damn, girl, you got some cute hair.
That was a tough one. That was a tough one.
I don't know. I mean, honestly, I'm voting for the little kid laughing, but just because it warms my heart to hear that adorable little child.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What was the
Allie's son? I'm blanking on Allie's son's name.
Is it is it Grayson?
It is Grayson. Thank you. I knew there was an A and a Y in there somewhere, but it wasn't Andy.
I knew there were letters in that name.
I knew it. Like one of them was pointy and one of them was round. That one was 66% of the vote went to cute hair.
Okay. Next up was, sorry, I didn't see. I was too busy blocking out the haters, which if you have not seen the video, I recommend it. The kid's got plastic spoons on his eyes. It's great. Going up against the I was shaking, my tummy was shaking, my head was shaking, my arms were shaking, and my legs, my feet too. And the winner between those two was...
Hey, I'm sorry, I didn't see you there. I was too busy blocking out the haters.
That is a tough one.
Kid.
I mean, I love that kid. I would have been happy with either one, but also sad to see either one go. That's a good one, man.
Yeah. Next up, it was a Did You Poop, which for years I thought was somebody named Reagan, but it was not. It was somebody with a different name that I'm spacing on at the moment. But Reagan was the kid who had claimed to have pooped, even though he didn't. That going up against Gary Busey saying, that dog that is barking, that is not my dog. And the winner was...
That dog is barking. That is not my dog.
That's a surprising one to me.
Yeah. You know what? I'm surprised too. I think I voted the other way on that. It was close. 53% of the vote went with the Buse.
Because the Did You Poop is so cute. We use it so much. Maybe they're just people that really genuinely dislike scatological content on the program. But like Busey is just, I mean, honestly, probably if you just kept that tape rolling, Busey said 7 more weirder things than that.
Mm-hmm.
Like Busey, he just wakes up in the morning and just starts spewing odd things that would make funny audio drops. And that's just a kind of at random. It gets used a lot, I think, because of the just because we reference dogs on the show a lot, and so that comes up. But the other piece of tape from listener Michael's kid is, I don't know. I love the story behind that a lot too, which we played the full tape last week or whenever it was. So, but they don't call this, and Andrew, they don't call this. Thank you. They don't call this show friendship. Okay, they call it show business. And Mia, you had to learn that at some point.
That's right.
Did I just make that up?
No, that's from something.
Reason. Well, I know that they say there's a reason they call it show business, but do they usually pair it with it's not called show friendship, it's called show business?
It feels, but maybe I'm making false memories. It feels like Bluthian. Doesn't it feel like like Tobias or something? I don't know. Maybe not.
All right, next up, it was I Like Turtles up against Kittens, inspired by kittens. And the winner was
I Like Turtles.
Oh, all right.
Go.
Yeah,
that's
for me. I like Turtles. That one spoke to me more. 67% of the vote went with that.
All right, then we have I Just Love Hot Cheetos versus There's Something About the Soul of a Cat. And the winner in that face-off was...
I Just Love Hot Cheetos!
Oh, now, of course.
But it was closer than I expected. I mean, I think I have a bit of a soft spot for I Just Love Hot Cheetos because I recorded that with a shotgun microphone standing in a playground in Pasadena, California. And as I mentioned last time around, at some point I do believe Kanye West interacted with the idea of that audio in some form or fashion. And so I thought it should have been 100%, but it wasn't. And I'm not trying to tip the scales here, but it did pass on to the next round. But it didn't.
Now, am I allowed to
landslide.
say because am I allowed? Oh well, I will tell you after you reveal the next one what I Love Hot Cheetos will be up against next, and will it survive round 2?
All right, next up, I don't watch the news because I'm a kid. Noah Ritter, I believe, and up against Time for Cat Massage, which I think is from the Cat Massage video. And the winner in that round is...
I don't watch the news because I'm a kid.
That is great.
It's impossible to not smile when you hear him talking.
And now that's going up against Hot Cheetos, Luke. That's going to be a tough matchup, man.
Oh, that's how that works?
Yes, and actually that's kind of the fun part of this now, looking at what we're left with. I Love Hot Cheetos going up against I Don't Watch the News. I don't know that Hot Cheetos is going to be moving on to round 3. We'll see. We will see. And then you have That Dog Is Barking versus I Like Turtles. If You Got Cute Hair is up against I Was Too Busy Blocking Out the Haters. And I Feel Happy of Myself is going up against A Cat Is an Angel That Poops in a Box. Those matchups don't seem difficult to me. I won't say what I'm voting for, but I know immediately what I'm voting for in each of those 4.
Can you tell people, in case, I don't know, for some reason they're hearing this show for the first time, where they can go vote for these things? Where's the voting happening again?
Yeah, if you're hearing today's show, you can go to today's show page, and I will put all of these new matchups on today's show page. Today is the 16th of April, and nobody paid taxes yesterday.
I know. I said that at the top of the show. Usually April 15th, it's a pretty big, it's a big story. Everyone's trying to get their taxes in, and just one, the federal government did extend it. But 2, it's just seems like a small thing in terms of, it's not, it's how we're funding the government so that they can send us back some amount of it in the form of a check. It just seemed like a weirdly, a low profile story.
Yeah, it is interesting. Well, I guess the news broke on it so long ago that so much has had years and years and years of news have been heaped upon that headline that came out 3 weeks ago. So I think the actual day passed. But anyway, also, I should mention that Jake from Chicago, as I now call it, is the one who put all this together, and he's also sprinkling these voting polls on the social media sites, your Facebooks, your Slack. So if you're on any of those, if you're playing in any of those spaces, you should be able to vote there as well.
All right, and so now we're moving into radio days. These are drops that were kind of created by TBTL in one way or another, either something somebody said or just something we got really obsessed with. And the first matchup was I Love Jesus, But I Drink a Little against Priceless Granite. And the winner. This is like
I love Jesus, but I drink a little.
91% of the vote.
Good.
That's a dominant performance by that drop.
Is. Yeah. Yeah. Is that the most dominant of these voting? Yeah, I believe
that
so.
I've seen.
Yep. So far.
Yeah. So next up, it was Sweet Berry Wine up against You're Gonna Love the Livin' Tweedle out of this one.
Oh, a little
Cisco. And but Sweet Berry Wine is such a
yeah.
Again, I was on the Tiki-Taki, and somebody. It's just funny when things will just get reposted there that I already know about, but they just crack me up. And one was when Steve Brule has his, I think, cool brother on. Do you remember that one?
I don't know if I remember.
They're both. It's of course both John C. Reilly, but in what it's him as Steve Brule, and then they've split screened it, so it's also him in like red sunglasses and a red shirt, being the cool version of him. And it's clear that Steve Brule is so enamored with like the cool, like his cool brother or whatever. And I just posted on the Tiki-Taki, and I was just dying laughing last night. Yeah.
I don't know, but my brother is here as my next guest. His name is Stan Brule, and he's the coolest person of my whole world. Welcome to the program, Stan. Good to be here. Good to be here, Steven. What's it like being the coolest guy in town? I have a lot of friends all over the world. Really? Yes. Uh-huh. Does anyone ever call you Stanley? I have my own pizza oven in my house. Could have as many extra ingredients as I want, and it doesn't cost me any extra. Tell our audience about your inventions. Did you ever invent a jetpack? I invented a jetpack. I was going to invent a skateboard, but I already have 500 of them.
Skateboard.
So.
A lot of this, I realize, is visual as well. He's got his hair is spiked up. He's wearing red sunglasses, some sort of a red leisure suit, and flip-flop sandals, and his body language is very chill.
I love why is him saying skateboard the funniest thing to me? Okay, so Sweet Berry Wine going up against You're Gonna Love the Livin' Tweedle out of it, and the winner was...
Oh, you're going to love the Livin' Tweedle out of this.
Cisco.
Wow. So let's see here. That was close, 66% of the vote. Wow, that's a tough one because I love Cisco so much and I love that drop. But Sweet Berry Wine seems like it's part of the DNA of this show.
Yeah, I was torn on that one. I love. There's something like. This is a weird way to quantify this, but it's like John C. Reilly as Steve Brule is so funny, but it's like someone who's in on the joke, doing things to be funny. Cisco is just such a wellspring of genuine love, positivity, and hilarity
that true.
It tips me towards his drop because it's au naturel. It just happened in the world because he was being Cisco. Where
that's fair.
John C. Reilly, as a very talented performer, did a thing that is very funny to us, but it was there's something about the intention behind it, and I just love that Cisco's just doing that all day long. He's just generating that energy.
And it might be because Chateau Saint Michel doesn't support the show anymore. The listeners decided to reject the Sweet Berry Wine thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there.
Many of the listeners have gotten sober just because of the fact that Chateau Saint Michel stopped supporting us.
But
we did appreciate it. Was a good run.
It was great. They've been so good to the show. That way,
they were awesome. And
I
we
apologize if that came off as mean spirited. It was not. It was not. I was just joking.
No. We'll have you back anytime, Chateau Saint Michel. But thanks for all the good years. If we if our paths never cross again. Okay, next up, we got to hustle through this, Walshki, because you and I, when we're done with this, are going to jump on the blower with our friend Patricia Murphy over at KUOW and be on their new daily podcast that they have. And we to talk about sort of serious stories, which I have to read all of them before we go on that show.
That's right, yeah.
Sweet Berry Prep. Not my strong suit. Okay, so next up, Next up was Drunk People Are So Meta, which is Kelly O, versus the thunderclap, oh my God, that some person, when they set up a camera to try to capture, I think, a lightning show, got almost struck by lightning, and it freaked them out. And the winner is...
Drunk People Are So Meta.
That should come as probably no surprise. You know what I don't think I ever noticed? The end of this drop, did she bump the microphone with her hand? Just listen to this.
Drunk People Are So Meta.
Yeah, somebody bumped a mic.
I never even noticed. Like, just to add to the pure horror of that moment on TBTL, she was, I think, bopping into the microphone, too, in her particular state. But anyway, so that's moving on. What was the voting on that?
It looks like 64% went for that. I'm glad because a thunderclap, oh my God, is scary. It scares me. It scares the listeners.
Yeah.
So now we can move on and put the fear behind us.
I'll stop playing that one so much.
No, I mean,
it
no.
gives you a bad feeling.
No,
I don't want to make you have a bad feeling, Andrew.
You can always
All
tell
right.
the shows where I don't perform that well, it's the shows that you scared me with a drop. So just look
Sure.
for that pattern.
Okay. I'll go back and re-listen to 3,000 episodes. Next up is Ahoy Hoy, Mr. Burns from The Simpsons, up against Don't Stay in My House If You're Dark-Sided. And the winner was...
Ahoy Hoy? Okay, nice. Yeah, I was.
That was another one that gives you a bad feeling, you said.
No, it doesn't give me a bad feeling. I just was mentioning that it's one of the most utilitarian drops. It doesn't necessarily make me laugh so much. It's just kind of part of the show. Ahoy, ahoy is how we answer the phone now, and it's become. But I felt bad. I thought about saying that last time. I was like, why was I bad mouthing that drop? And I did not take any listeners with me down that negative path though, because Ahoy Hoy won with 77% of the vote.
No, I was saying you said don't stay in your house if you're dark-sided.
Oh.
Wait, did I say that gave me a bad
feeling? Oh, no,
yeah,
that one gives me a bad feeling. Sorry. I misunderstood the question.
All right, let's see. Next up is Slabjacking versus It Does Not Bother Me, the very delightful older gal leaving a message, I believe, for one of our listeners back in the day. And the winner was... Interesting.
It does not bother me.
Yes.
In fact, I kind of like it because I know there's somebody around.
It's a tough matchup, but you love her so much. It's hard to not to vote against that.
53%. So that was a coin toss. Yeah. And let's be honest, every time we play Slabjacking, we end up with a show title like Slabjacking My Gunk Hole.
Exactly.
Which the listeners probably wisely figured that out, and they were like, let's try to move Slabjacking out of the competition, and they did it. Congratulations. Next up was Let the Fun Begin versus I'm Warm and I'm Levitating from the fake David Blaine video. I mean, that might have literally been in the first episode of TBTL. In fact, I think it was. The very first episode when I did this very clunky run of drops where I was just kind of like, They were so upcut. The rhythm was so off. It was so I am just mortified about the first episode of this program. But that drop nevertheless it has persisted, and it's in the competition. It's going up against Let the Fun Begin, Tom Shane, and the winner was
Let the Fun Begin.
Wow. With 74% of the vote, I'm going to say that is the incumbent power there, because Let the Fun Begin has become your go-to drop that you play every day to set up what's coming up on the show. And now that, I mean, I'm Warm and I'm Levitating is great, but it's just not, it just doesn't have the bully pulpit that Let the Fun Begin has.
Exactly. Yeah, you're exactly right. It has to do with gerrymandering.
It does. Yes.
It has to do with safe seats. And Let the Fun Begin. It is going to be very hard to vote Let the Fun Begin out because of just the institutional momentum it has now.
Yes.
Next up is You Can't Ride My Little Red Wagon against Tan Mom. Sorry, I'm tan. I like to be tan. It just feels good. And the winner...
I'm sorry, I'm tan. I like to be tan. It just feels good.
Have you noticed, Andrew, I don't want to bore the listeners with the details, but because we were having some technical challenges, you and I have switched over to Zoom as our way of communicating. And can you see how friggin' tan I am, or sunburned is more the case?
You do look a little tan. Yeah, you're a little pink.
Yeah, I know. I've been out, like, usually when the weather's nice this time of year, it's kind of a limited time offer, and so you just, like, I try to go outside and get a little sunshine, but we've been on this run of nice days. Maybe it is always this nice and I'm just forgetting, but I'm overdoing it with the sunshine, which is, I guess, a okay problem to have until it becomes medically dangerous for me.
Are you like just sunbathing? Are you putting baby oil on?
I slather my body in baby oil. I do that thing that you would see like business dudes doing downtown sometimes. I hold up one of those weird mirrors that parabolically reflects the sun back at me.
Which is good because it also keeps you from licking yourself, which is good.
It doubles as a cone. I can't remember if I actually saw that in real life or I just saw a picture in a magazine. I would tell you that I have observed it like a business person on a lunch break doing that reflection. But maybe it was just so in the culture in the 80s as an idea, because you knew about what I was talking about too.
Well,
right?
I was picturing the 80s bikini-clad sunbather in a movie who's like on the roof of her apartment building, or maybe sunbathing as Ferris Bueller jumps over her, that type of thing. They also have those metallic mirror things that they hold under their chin, right?
Yeah. I have in my mind this memory of being in downtown Seattle and seeing someone on their lunch break, but they were like in a suit doing that. But I don't know if I actually saw that or if I'm hallucinating. Okay, so but my point is I'm tan. I just like to be tan. It just feels good. Won by 4 votes.
4 votes. Wow.
Dag.
That was a close one.
Okay, and then this is the last battle that we will tell you about today. It was Shut It Down America versus Let the Eagle Soar, John Ashcroft's beautiful singing. And the winner of this showdown was, in fact...
Shut It Down America.
Shut It Down America. I had a thought about that. I mean, I've been using that every day to just as if people need me to be reminding them that we're all stuck indoors. But I've just kind of just used that as the way of trying to describe this time, Shut It Down America, this time in our lives. But I wonder if it's going to have a negative connotation. I wonder if I'm burning that drop. Like 2 years from now, if people will be triggered when they hear it because now it's associated with us being stuck indoors.
That's a good point. Where will we be 2 years from now? Let me not ponder that right now, but let me instead tell you what this means for the next round of matchups.
You sounded so biblical. Let me not ponder that right now, but let me instead tell you about...
If I start referring to the listeners as my flock, will that upset you?
Yes.
Okay, so speaking of flocks and shepherds, I Love Jesus, But I Drink a Little is going up against You're Gonna Love the Livin' Tweedle Out of This. I think that's a tough one. I said the other ones, I have all my answers, my votes. I don't know about that. Drunk People So Meta versus Ahoy Hoy. It Does Not Bother Me against Let the Fun Begin. And I'm Sorry I'm Tan up against Shut It Down America. Did you hear the bad edit? I tried to do the bad edit in my voice.
You did a good job.
I've heard
I'm
these
not
a
kidding.
lot.
That was like Tan Mom into Shut It Down America with the janky edit. That's a talent. Not a talent anyone wants or needs, but it is a talent.
Right. How'd this become? This is from Dazzling Donor Kelly from yesterday, right? She just asked us a question about saxophones. Now it's our official drops of stupid.
It's round
theme.
2. Yeah. That 15 grainy seconds of the sax solo from Baker Street could only mean one thing.
Only one thing, indeed.
Drops of Stupider are back. How about that? Okay, so I think we left off with we had arrived after yesterday's drops at TBTL Organics.
Yeah, that's where we need to pick up today.
That's where we're picking things up today. And for those who, through some weird circumstances, don't know what we're talking about here, There's this March Madness style bracket that listener Jake in Chicago put together, where people can vote over what they think the best TBTL drops are. We started with 64 teams. Now it's down to 32. We're reading those. In the first category we're reading today, TBTL Organics. These are things that became kind of popular because of our show, I guess you could say, or they grew organically out of our show. And the first pairing was the so-called marsupial gurgle, or as I call it in my system, Andrew Weird Sound Short. And then my mom saying, coming tonight on TBTL, which it never occurred to me, sounds a little nasty out there. And the winner between those two,
I got skin in this game.
Much to my relief, is
okay.
Very happy that we can now stop playing my mom saying "coming tonight on TBTL."
Wait a second. I don't think that this means that we have to burn all of the drops that don't win their particular matchups.
I wouldn't mind burning that one. Once I realized
you did burn that one.
The unintentional, the entendre. Once your brain connects with that, you kind of can't disconnect from it. Also, the marsupial gurgle is just, it's given us so much on this show. By the way, this has to be probably the second biggest landslide of the first round. 81% of the vote. Wow. People love the marsupial gurgle, Andrew.
Yeah, what was the one? It was I Love Jesus, But I Drink a Little came in with 91% of the vote yesterday. So, but I think you're right. This is the second biggest landslide.
The next one up is Make Me a Filet Mignon from Sean.
It's 206-414-8285.
Or my mom, again, saying, I say, what's up, dog? And the winner...
I say, what's up, dog?
Nice.
So there you go. My mom making it through to the next round.
Good. Still represented.
So, next up is Sean making another appearance, Sean Dettori, Bagel, Bagel, Boggle, Boogle versus Rar, which is, my ex, and something that I don't play anymore just out of respect for that person and that relationship. And interestingly, so you're looking at one of these drops is literally not even in the contest in my mind. Like, I didn't even play it. Mm-hmm. And the winner was...
Bagel, bagel, beagle, boggle, boogle.
I mean, I promise you, had I played Rar, it would have won. Bagel still only got 65% of the vote.
Wow.
So 45% of the people were still voting for a drop that I specifically said will probably never be played intentionally on the show again.
Now, couple of things. First of all, a lot of the voting might have happened before we even played them on the show because these polls and voting were circulating on social media. But also, here's what I love about those last three rounds, and I don't know if you've thought about this too, but in the first one you had me going up against Susie Burbank, just as far as our voices, and then that's an uncomfortable situation for me because I don't want to knock your mom out of the race. And then the next one, your mom can come back, but it's up against Sean, and she won, but then it's like, well, we want Sean represented, and then here we are. Yeah, Bagel, Bagel, Beagle, Boggle, Boogle, and now
Bagel,
Sean's
bagel,
in there
beagle,
too.
Boggle, boogle.
So we're all winners.
It's lovely. It was a very elegant solution to the problem of me not wanting to play a particular audio drop.
Right.
Next up was my good friend and the longest-running Cobra of the show, Andrew Walsh, saying "ooh, explicit," and versus my actual brother, David, from the basement. And not David's voice, but that very annoying, crypt opening sound that goes on way too long. And the winner of that battle was...
Oh, explicit. Ooh.
Now, I just about dropped my sound box, but I caught it, Andrew. That was a very slick move. I wish God was alive to see that. It's another Simpsons line.
Is it? Oh, I didn't know. I thought you were just...
Something happens, and Homer goes, I wish God were alive to see this.
Really? That's funny. It's edgy.
And I forget what it was. Anyway, this is great because I love that drop of you saying, ooh, explicit. And David from the basement's drop is not David. It's just an annoying sound, which is not... My brother makes a lovely sound because he's a lovely person. So it's probably just as well that's been eliminated, because I don't think the listeners really want to hear that creaking door.
In fact, they don't, because that one was 83% of the vote, even a bigger landslide than before.
Well, look at you. The marsupial gurgle, 81%. Ooh, explicit, 83%. Andrew, you, my friend, are dominating in some of these matchups.
Yeah, but I don't want to make this a referendum on me.
Well, I mean, you know what? Like, take it where you can get it. I mean, it is a referendum on you, and it's a landslide, my friend. They love you.
Yeah, it's true, but I can get it a lot of places. I don't need it here.
Also, they did give Jen 91% of the vote, so they love her slightly more.
You can just tell I'm just pissed about that.
But you know who is getting 0% of the vote? Me, because I'm the Lebitard of this show.
Well, yeah, you're not in any of these drops because you don't play drops of yourself.
But if I was in one, I think I'd still be getting low marks. It's always been the case on this show that people like, and it's, this is now, you and I have done what, 2,500 shows together? More. I mean, I don't know how many shows happened.
I joined after the first 1,000, and we're at 3,000. Whatever.
Really?
Yeah. Remember, because I was in the wings during the 1,000th anniversary show.
Oh yeah, at the Neptune. But like, yeah. What I've always noticed, what I noticed in the early days of TBTL when it was at the radio station and we had a bunch of people working on the show and a bunch of people chiming in on the show, was everybody always likes everyone who's chiming in more than the central host. Like, and I have the same experience as a listener. Like, I don't really care about Howard Stern as much as I care about Baba Booey, or Robin. Like, there's something about, and Lebitard talks about this on the show all the time. He's doing something very intentional and very almost theatrical, where he's always mad at everybody else on the show, but it elevates everybody else. And you, as a listener, I think identify much more with the people who aren't Lebitard. I think that's the natural dynamic. What you and I do is pretty close to 50-50 in my mind. So maybe that kind of undermines that dynamic. But the people who are not, I guess, officially the host of this show, which would have been Jen, Sean, you, have always been more popular than me with the listeners in my mind.
I don't think that's true, and I have numbers to prove it, because I can see what download numbers are for each show, and I can see what the listenership is like when you are not on the show. Don't make me show you the receipts, my friend.
No. I mean, listen, here's the thing. They need me. Yeah. I mean, I generate fascinating, unmissable content. But they also think that I'm wrong about most things and kind of think they don't like me.
I'll take it.
See, I'm saying there's the head and the heart.
Yes,
the heart
you are
not
just
with me.
Shamelessly promoting Livewire these days.
That's right. Please tune into the Livewire house party this week to hear the head and the heart play. True story. All right. Next up is
me again.
Power Out.
Oh no.
Power Out versus You'll Know When I'm Doing the Accent, which is another interesting one, in that You'll Know When I'm Doing the Accent is not so much a drop, just a thing I wouldn't stop saying in Australia as we'd be driving down the road somewhere or whatever. And the winner of that matchup is
Power Out.
Well, it's the only thing that's an actual drop.
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing, though, but Power Out, okay, won with 75% of the vote. That's still pretty solid. But you still have 20, but it's not the biggest landslide. Yeah. And you would think the biggest landslide would be against the one that isn't even a drop.
Yeah, I would have expected that. But that's what's so fun about the tens of listeners, is that they don't let sort of, what would you call
reality
that?
Get in the way of a good story.
Exactly. Hey, that's, I think, also my approach to hosting this show. All right. Next up, we have another appearance from Mr. Walsh. Oh, shit, things are hard. Up against Nailed It. A weird drop that I actually forgot I used to end the show with. I wonder how long that went on. But made even more weird because it is a Frankenstein's monster. See what I did there? Because I'm smart. Mm-hmm. It is a Frankenstein's monster of a drop that I reverse engineered in a very unconvincing way. And it almost, you want to talk about nails on a chalkboard. When I play Nailed It and hear how janky it is, it's nails on a chalkboard for me, which is why I was quite relieved to see that.
Oh, shit. Things are hard.
That drop won in a pretty major way, 75% of the vote.
Yeah, that's a weird one. I can't remember if I said this last week, but that's a weird one because some drops to me become like earworms, or if you say something or if I say something, I I'm incapable of not quoting a drop. For example, if I say the word "I want to say," or if I say the phrase "I want to say," and I hear myself say that in conversation, I can't stop myself from saying "crouch cream," which is from a drop that we play from Veep all the time. He says, "I want to say crouch cream," but that's not right. Anyway, one of the weird things is, oh shit, things are hard. Sometimes my own voice will trigger my own voice's earworm in my head, and it rattles around like a mirror looking at a mirror. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Ooh, yeah. The next matchup drop is, it's your lucky day. You just found a USB flash drive in the parking lot going up against, I cannot believe he just told that joke.
Okay, this is a big one.
Those are both drops that are pulled from various trainings that we've had to do, and online as part of our company we work for. And the winner between these two real heavyweights of the show is, of course...
It's your lucky day. You just found a USB flash drive in the parking lot.
That's
Carol
the way it should be. That's the way it should be, I think. In fact, that one looks closer than I would have guessed. That's a 53%er right there.
Yeah. The next matchup is the Walsh-Helm Scream up against Chevre. Another interesting category in that we can't find the Chevre drop. That was Sean talking about a cheese that he bought for making a Snickers pie.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think you would imagine that the Walsh-Helm Scream won. It did 82% of the vote.
You know what I did not realize during round one is how much of this shit I am in. And if you're counting this as me, and 4 of them are moving on out of 5, right? Am I right? Marsupial Gurgle, Ooh Explicit, Oh Shit, Things Are Hard, and the Walsh-Helm Scream. I mean, will there be a day when I'm up against myself is the question.
I think it would. I think it's unavoidable that will happen.
In fact, I might even be now. I'll go over the brackets when you're done with this.
It'd be hard for you, to pick amongst your children, i.e. the things you've said on the show.
I don't know that I want... I would not want mine to be I would not want my voice to be the final winner on this, so I'm hoping
too much
get
pressure
weeded out soon. Yeah, and also, I just don't think that, whatever, yeah.
Because that makes you the king of TBTL. You realize if a drop of your voice prevails, then you basically, I don't know what that means. It conveys some kind of high power for you.
Yeah, but also, and it sounds like a lot of people would be like, oh, that sounds great. You can finally get your dream. But no, I mean, the tax implications alone of being the king of TBTL are just
Thanks, Obama.
I like where I am.
Okay, next up is Who Needs a Movie, which I guess that category means what?
These were things that came from TV, movies, or online videos.
Nice. Got it. And in the first matchup, it was Shepard Smith on Fox saying jalapeno versus That's a Tuner, Bro. Those two guys on the fishing boat who there was a fish out in the water that they were very confused as to the origin of. And the winner...
Jalapeno!
Wow. That surprises me.
Yeah.
That's a tuna, bro. It's hard to say goodbye to that.
59% of the vote.
Yeah, so not a landslide.
I am surprised, too. I mean, jalapeno is funny, and we play it a lot, but That's a Tuner, Bro is iconic.
But I think what helps is your special DJ mix of jalapeno.
Sure. Yeah. No, I think that's, that obviously had a certain halo effect on that drop. I think it's undeniable. Next up, we have a Too Loud and Too Specific going up against That's a Pretty Good Spoof. And the winner there...
Well, that's a pretty good spoof.
All right. I can get down with that.
57% of the vote. Also, the Too Loud and Too Specific, for you, Andrew, that's adjacent. That's adjacent to a drop that you really hate. David Cross's character on Rick and Morty talking about having his butthole flaps dyed. He's an alien. And then he says it's too loud and too specific. So even hearing that could be triggering for you because it's very close. So you're probably happy that that Pretty Good Spoof moved on.
I'm happy with that. Also, I think one of the funniest things about the Too Loud, Too Specific is the name Cynthia in there because it is so specific. He says, Too loud, Cynthia. Too loud and too specific. And like there's something about that, and there's nothing inherently funny about the name Cynthia, but it reminds me, I know I've told this on the show before, this is the type of thing that Genevieve and I will say to each other until the day we die. She was at a crosswalk one time. I wasn't even there. But there were some people who were crossing the street against the light, and that's something that is still like in Seattle. You don't see a lot of people do that. They always wait for the lights to change. It's a very weird cultural thing. But apparently, there were some younger kids, and they were crossing the street, if I'm remembering this correctly. And Genevieve was waiting for the light, and there was an older couple there, and the guy said to his wife, "We wait for the light to change, Gail. We're not millennials." And Beeves and I say that. Gail, we're not millennials, Gail. We say that to each other all the time.
It's a real like Virginia Woolf update, like updated version. Like,
right.
Wow, that does not sound like the most fun relationship to be in.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm putting too much of an angry edge in it. It was just sort of funny the way we're not millennials, Gail. All right. Anyway.
All right. Next up, speaking of things that this show is on occasion. This is so boring and forever taking. Going up against.
Sorry, Jill.
They was trying to say I was drunk. I drank 8 beers yesterday. That was all. And the winner there was.
They were trying to say I was drunk. I drank 8 beers yesterday. That was all I drank.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love that drop.
I know.
Never
I
get tired of it.
And we haven't been able to track it down. Like, we remember the story from our Ross and Burbank days, but neither one of us has been able to re-find that on the internet, right?
It was a guy who won a demolition derby, but then had his demolition derby trophy stripped from him because he was legally drunk. And then his defense was that he had 8 beers. That was all.
Yeah.
Just a beautiful story. I love that story. Next up, 2 bros broing it up, going up against This Is Special. Boy. Those are also a couple of classics. Mm-hmm. And the winner there.
2 bros broing it up.
That feels right to me. That's good.
Yeah. I mean, This Is Special is it's a practical drop for us because it's a way of indicating that something unusual is happening or something we've been anticipating. But it is also from a video that we have now learned was kind of a spoof. So not that 2 bros broing it up happened in the wild. I mean, that was an SNL promo, but still, I think that probably came out about right. Then you've got Carol Hold My Calls
Carol,
up against
Hold My Calls. That's how you got to say it, Luke.
Sure. Carol, hold my calls.
I knew you had it in you.
Carol, what's the phone number? 206-414-TBTL.
All right,
sure, no problem.
Right. I won't
Just
criticize
trips right
you
off the
anymore.
tongue. So it was Carol Hold My Calls against That's Not How Any of This Works. Wow. And I will be honest with you.
That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
That is surprising, yeah.
I was a little surprised that that's the one that won. I feel like I've played Carol Hold My Calls so many. I mean, we've played the full sketch like a bunch of times on the show because it makes me laugh so much. But hey, the vote of the tens of listeners is final. So that's what happened there. Next, we have Sadly the Answer Is Not Yes going up.
Wow, that's a new one, man. That's a Simpsons.
Those sounds were coming from your Baadi.
Yeah.
And yes, I would argue that Sadly the Answer Is Not Yes might be the newest addition to this universe.
That's on this list, certainly.
Don't you think? Like
it's not the newest drop, but it's the newest of this list, I would say, yeah.
Right. And if this list was made even like a week later, I wonder if Will shit, how y'all doing?
Yeah, I was about to say the same exact thing.
Maybe gotten on, but Principal Skinner from The Simpsons going up against the Amy Schumer Show sketch, and
the answer, sadly, is not yes.
Wow,
surprising!
Skinner.
And I know I said this last time. I disagree with this vote. I mean, it's okay. It's still my drop. I will not be moving to a different podcast. But I think that sadly,
until one of them hires you, thanks to the various
working on
the various irons that you've put out in various fires.
Uncommon sense has not gotten back to me. Sadly, the answer is not yes, is one of my favorite jokes, and it's like a great piece of tape, and I just think it's a hilariously written joke. But as a just standalone drop and what it represents and its role in our show, those sounds coming from your body seemed more like organically tied to the TBTL experience. So I was a little surprised by this.
Well, again, the listeners want what they want. So next up, we've got Oh, He Is Hilarious Dog, who is Rick Moranis, Drake on SNL.
Yep.
Going up against I Might Have Tacos When I Go Home. I'm not quite sure yet. I feel like you and I, for whatever reason, I've been particularly obsessed with the Oh, He Is Hilarious Dog drop of late. So it kind of moved. In my mind, it seemed like a popular drop. But then, of course, it's like if it's going up against I Might Have Tacos, I mean, like the winner was
I Might Have Tacos When I Go Home. I'm not quite sure yet.
Which was for what? Maybe a year? Was that your intro?
Maybe. I think it was my first intro drop for a long time. New Hampshire. I think that was what you used for me exclusively for a long time. Then that story about the Connecticut mayor saying some, I'm just going to say racist things when asked how he's going to celebrate
Joe Maturo.
That became such a big story, and we were obsessed with it that you just started playing that for me. I mean, it became this whole thing where people associated me with tacos for a long time, and like I have no problem with tacos, but it's not really like I'm not a huge taco person. I mean, I like them; they're fine.
Sure. We're doing Taco Tuesday around here. We just coincidentally had tacos the last couple of Tuesdays, and I like to do a thing that makes me feel like I'm being really I don't know what you'd call it, like a professional chef, or I'm risk taking in the kitchen. I will throw my tortilla. We have a gas stove, and I will just get get the burner going, and then I will throw my tortilla onto the open flame, and then I will flip it a couple times, get a good little char on there, and I'm very proud of that move.
Oh, I miss having a gas stove. That sounds great. We're back to electric in this apartment.
That's about the only.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
I was going to say maybe what you say, like, I like this apartment. I think everything is good. The one thing I would trade out, and it's a new stove, too. They replaced it when we got in here, but it's electric. And I'm like, What were you going to
say? I'm just not enough of a chef to really notice the difference. I know that people swear by gas stoves because of how it helps you cook food, and I think there's something about it being more even, or the heat is certainly more instant. But for me, I just am not like, same thing with people that are like, oh, where are the hot spots on my barbecue? And they like figure that all out. I'm just not at a high enough level of cooking to really notice the difference of those things. And for me, cooking over electric would probably be no different. The only difference is that tortilla roasting move that I pull. It's literally the main reason I like having a gas stove.
Well, I'm no Guy Fieri, but when's the last time you used an electric? I'll bet you after using gas for as long as you've been using gas, I'll bet you haven't used electric in a long time. And if you were to go back to it, I'll bet you would notice, because that was my experience.
But is it what's the downside of electric? It takes too long to
I don't
heat up?
know. I don't know about that, and I don't know if this is the specific issue that most people have, but from my experience, it's just much harder to dial in specifically what you're looking for in a moment and have it react to your adjustments on the fly. Like I feel like I'm constantly adjusting the heat on things, like especially depending on the pan that you're using. Like sometimes you talk about hot spots. I don't know if that's the same thing, but like I'll be cooking something like ooh, let's pull this back a little bit. Oh, actually, it could use a little bit more, and I'm kind of doing that a lot. And with an electric burner, I just can't get the immediate reaction to it, whether it's going up or down or whatever. It just seems a little bit more like I don't know, just more of a blunt instrument.
Right. And but yeah, again, it's just like the cooking that I do is so rudimentary that, yeah, I mean, you might be right.
Maybe Me too. I'm just trying to say, like, I feel that way, and I legitimately feel that way, but I also am no great cook myself.
We remember the Seattle house had this like industrial stove in it, which was actually kind of part of the appeal of moving there. It made me think we're going to have these wonderful get-togethers, and we're going to have Thanksgiving dinner here and gather, and we're going to have 9 burners going at once. But like, that stove was always breaking. It's like and then you couldn't get anyone to fix it. And then there was an insurance issue. People, like, I don't think it was even supposed to be in a house.
Oh,
like,
really?
I think, Yeah, I think that towards the end, when I ended up moving, when we ended up selling the house and I moved, I was very relieved to have sold the house and be kind of done with it, because that stove was on the fritz, and then I couldn't get anyone to come fix it because, like most normal home repair people, didn't know how to deal with it because it was more like a restaurant. You need to call like a restaurant equipment repair place. And like I had called somebody on Craigslist and they came out and they couldn't fix it. It was like the oven part of it would like never work or would go on the fritz. And then somebody mentioned, I think it was one of those repair people who came out and said, you're not really like supposed to have this stove in a residential home. And I was like, don't tell Kevin at Liberty Mutual.
I know he's listening.
That's how I talk when I'm keeping secrets from my insurance agent.
Nice.
All right. Next up, speaking of food. Oh, wait. I read the result of tacos. Speaking of food, is it too early to get a fish sandwich? Traffic Jam Jimmy going up against Tomorrow We Ride at 9:30-ish. And the winner is
it too early to get a fish sandwich?
Well, damn straight it is.
Jimmy.
I would have been shocked if
Skippy.
it wasn't. Yeah. You bet your sweet
I think
ass
that's the whole list. You bet your sweet ass. I'm 83. I love Traffic Jam Jimmy.
So let me do this, if you don't mind. Let me tell you what this means for the second half of the second round of voting. I will put these links on today's show page at tbtl.net. I was delayed in doing that yesterday. I apologize, but you can vote on yesterday's matchups there and today's matchups on today's show page. You have the marsupial gurgle sound going up against I Say What's Up Dog from your mom. So that's a Walsh-Susie matchup there. Beagle Bagel Boggle Boogle up against Ooh Explicit. That's a Sean DeTore versus Walsh matchup there. Power Out from Linda in Australia up against me saying shit, things are hard. And then you have...
I like that your impression of yourself is unconvincing to me.
I'm sorry, I was trying to... you jumping in there was good because I was... trying to not cough during all of that. Okay, you found a USB drive in the parking lot up against the Walsh-Helm Scream. I want to weigh in on these, but I will not. In the next quadrant, you have Jalapeno up against... That's a pretty good spoof. You got... I had 8 beers, that's all I drank, up against 2 bros, broing it up. And I'm getting into it. It always takes me a while to warm up.
Yeah, I love it.
You have... That's not how this
You're
works.
Heating up like a gas stove.
But can I cool down quickly? That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. Up against... The answer is sadly not yes. And then you have I'm not quite sure yet up against is it too early for a fish sandwich?
I think it's interesting that when you did the taco impersonation, you left out the taco.
This is why I am looking at the actual chart that
I know
Jake
it's hard,
in Chicago,
right?
but he doesn't have it all because you only have a small amount of space. So I'm reading it, and all I saw was I'm not quite sure yet, and so I was.
But you did it in the perfect voice.
I know. So I just couldn't. I couldn't go back. I couldn't rewind in my head and get on the fly remember what I needed to say before that.
Right, but you knew the tone of it. That's what's interesting to me. So you did a good job with what you were. What you were presented with.
But I think we can all agree that this is Jake's fault that I didn't know that. It's Jake, and I'm going to say Jill a little bit too, like because Jill really got in my head with her dazzling donor message and how long it was.
Jake and Jill went up the hill.
That's right.
Frick up another episode of TBTL.
Oh, why am I beating up on our dazzling donor?
I don't know. This is the worst idea we have ever had. If we want this thing to continue, we need to be exceptionally kind to the people who are donating.
Oh, my gosh.
What we really need to make sure we get to today is this latest round of results from the TBTL Drops of Stupider contest. Love it. You read my mind.
We needed to reset.
Walsh, I want to shake you down. So here we go. In the Kids and Animals division, we had gotten down to I Feel Happy of Myself versus A Cat is an Angel That Poops in a Box. And the winner of that face-off was...
I feel happy of myself.
Nice.
A little loud. I'm going to just back that down a little bit. But yeah, I feel happy of myself getting. What was the vote on that one, Andrew?
That looks like it won with 80% of the vote, and that feels right. I mean, A Cat is an Angel That Poops in the Box is a great classic drop. It's withstood the test of time, but we are getting into the really interesting. True. This is the really interesting part of the Drops of Stupider contest. I mean, this is where the rubber really hits the road, where we got to say goodbye to some favorites, and the fact that I feel happy of myself as moving on makes me feel happy of ourselves. I'm glad to see that it survived to see another round.
Yeah, because I'll go back to the thing I was saying last week about some of these, which is, A Cat is an Angel That Poops in a Box that's Kristen Wiig being hilarious, because she is hilarious. But she's on Saturday Night Live. She's doing a character. I feel happy of myself is a little kid who just, I believe, maybe rode his bike for the first time.
Yeah, I think so.
And it's an organically created moment that kid had no idea was going to become viral or part of TBTL, or by the way, that kid is probably 36 now. But whenever it's something organic going up against something that a professional performer performed, I'm almost always going to default to the organic thing. Yeah. So I'm with you on that. Next up, if you've got cute hair, I'm going to say, damn girl, you got some cute hair going up against another little kid organically. Well, I guess, the kid knew he was going to say this, but he gets a lot of credit because it's a genius line. The kid who said he was blocking out the haters, and the winner in that category was...
Hey, I'm sorry, I didn't see you there. I was too busy blocking out the haters.
Oh, it's hard to be mad at that, too. I like that. Yeah. 63% of the vote.
I wonder how old that kid is now.
Yeah, that thing was probably less than 10 years. That thing isn't 10 years old yet, I don't think, is it? Well, yeah.
Who knows? Next up, we had Gary Busey, that dog that's barking. That is not my dog. Going up against I Love Turtles.
I like turtles
from the zoo in Portland, and the winner there was
I Like Turtles.
Again, that's see good. Previous comments. Although I will be honest with you, Gary Busey is also organically generating that dog that is barking. That is not my dog. I wonder. It's been so long since I even remember what the context for that was. There was a period of time where Gary Busey seemed to be doing a lot of on-the-street interviews. I don't know if it was that the paparazzi was coming after him or what, but we just had such a trove of tape of him just talking to people, but in that very Busey-an fashion.
He really went through a moment, kind of a resurrected career or post-career moment, because he had that documentary. Remember that documentary series on Comedy Central? It's called Me and Busey, I think, or something along the Busey and Me. I can't recall. And I loved that. That was so long ago. I remember I did not have cable in New Hampshire, but Genevieve and her roommate had basic cable in Boston, and I would ask them to literally tape that show on VHS tapes for me, and then I'd go over there on the weekends and we'd watch it. And I think it only lasted one season.
I wonder how Gary Busey is doing through all of this, by the way, because he sort of hit on some hard times there for a while. I remember seeing he was selling CDs and things of his, I believe. Anyway, so I Like Turtles moves on there, and in the next matchup, we're still in kids and animals. It's I Love Hot Cheetos against I Don't Watch the News because I'm a kid, and the winner there.
I don't watch the news because I'm a kid.
Noah Ritter defeating Shatan Robinson. I forget if that was the name of that young lady in Pasadena who yelled I Love Hot Cheetos, but there you go. Noah Ritter. I mean, hard to argue with Noah Ritter in any of these things. That kid remains maybe the greatest audio in the history of this show.
Yeah, I don't know if we played the full thing on the show recently or if I was just in the mood for it, but I just dialed that and the
you want to play it? Do you have it?
Yeah, I think I do. Give me a second to call it up. But sometimes I just listen to this because here I think
it is amazing. You can't get tired of it because there's so many. There's just when you think he's almost done. There's just the Powerball. There's the I don't watch the news. I've never been on live television. There's the scare half to death, and all you do is spin around. There's just you don't even need to play it. I just did a perfect.
You did it perfectly. I'm actually not even going to play it from my thing because I edit things so they fit so they're not too long. I'm going to play this from YouTube. This is the long version.
1 second. What did you think about the ride?
It was great. And apparently, I've never been on live television before, but Apparently, sometimes I don't watch the news because I'm a kid, and apparently Grandpa just gives me a remote after we watch the Powerball.
I want to point out something that I had forgotten about this video. So this is at a fair, and the reporter is asking him about a ride that he had just taken. But what I forgot is that he grabs the microphone with the WNEP Channel 16 news flag on it. He just grabs it. So he's now holding the microphone, staring into the camera like he's one of the reporters.
It's the Powerball.
Tell me about the ride. What did you think about the ride?
Well, it was great.
Now he's looking around.
Because apparently you're spinning around, and apparently every time you get dizzy.
Yeah.
That's all you do is get dizzy.
Is it fun?
Yeah. And I've never, ever been on live television. I never, ever be on live television.
Are you excited?
Yeah, and apparently I already went down the super slide. When I went down the one, I was scared half to death.
Now, I'm going to keep going, but I also want to say one of the heartbreaking things about this is a little girl comes up next to him, and she's like waving at the camera and trying to get her a little bit of attention, and nobody cares. Like, the reporter gives the little girl a little bit of a wave and then tries to, like, kind of push her out of the way.
I just freak out.
Okay.
What I need his name. Hi, honey. Hold on. I'm just going to ask him. What's his name? Noah. What's your last name?
Dick Ritter.
How do you spell his last name?
Ritter, R-I-T-T-E-R.
Okay, where are you guys from? Wilkes-Barre. All right, buddy.
All right, this is why we edit things, I guess. We didn't need the last 30 seconds of that. But,
I liked it.
Very good.
You know why?
Very good.
Because here's what I heard. I wonder if his parents are divorced or not together because he started to almost say another last name.
And
is
then
that what
happened
Ritter?
There? It did seem...
Well, that's what I heard.
A weird pronouncer.
And then it made me think, I wonder if it's a thing where he kind of like, his dad has a different last name than Ritter. And so, but, he's a little in between on like, which name he's using based on like what his grandparents on either side, et cetera, his mom. That's what I heard in that moment. And I could be completely wrong. But that's what I'm wondering if I did not find the end of that tape to be uninteresting.
What if he's living a double life? What is
yes,
if it's like
exactly
a Tavener? How have I already forgotten John Tavener's fake last name in Patriot?
Lakeman.
Maybe it's a Lakeman Tavener thing.
Oh, very possible. He's in deep cover. All right, next up, let's see. So Noah Ritter, I don't watch news because I'm a kid. Advancing. Now we get into Radio Days. These are drops that were sort of made famous by TBTL or things that we actually said on TBTL, particularly back in the days when we were a radio show.
Yeah, I'm going to say there are two categories that you may be conflating here. There's one that is TBTL Organics, which are things that just came up from the radio show or associated with TBTL and wouldn't be associated with other things. Then there are Radio Days, which is the things that were just said a lot when the show was on the radio or used a lot.
Got it. So that's the category we're in.
Yeah.
So this one is I love Jesus, but I drink a little, going up against You're Gonna Love the Living Tweedle out of this. Man, a couple of heavy hitters in the world of TBTL. And, of course, with the news of Cisco that we've been talking about. The winner is...
I love Jesus, but I drink a little.
Wow.
That's
as
right.
happy as it makes me to hear that, it does make me sad to know that Jen just killed Cisco Morris on today of all days.
It's like, I know. It's like, let the guy have a moment, please, as we bid him fond farewell. First, he gets Sean's very tepid goodbye on his video.
I have a lot of plants now.
And now Jen just absolutely dominates the zone with 68% of the vote. So Jen Flash Andrews, moving on. Next up, we have Drunk People Are So Meta, Kelly O from The Stranger, who was actually drunk on the show, which was, in fact, meta. And up against Ahoy Hoy, Mr. Burns' customary way of answering the phone on The Simpsons, which we use for all kinds of things.
Ahoy hoy?
And Ahoy Hoy. This was fairly close, 61%.
Yeah. That's the only one that kind of bums me out. Mm-hmm. I mean, seeing Cisco go bums me out, but again, these are tough matchups, and seeing Jen's I Love Jesus, but I drink a little, I mean, I'm glad that that's moving on. That brings me some joy. Ahoy Hoy, again, I've said this before, and I don't know why I keep on trying to slander it, but I just feel, I don't know, Drunk People Are So Meta just seemed like it was so much more in the moment. Ahoy Hoy, it just seems very workaday, you know?
Yeah, and it is. I mean, Ahoy Hoy is just a thing we use a lot because for the longest time it was the sound effect we played when we made phone calls or received phone calls. Anytime phone calls came up, that ahoy hoy with a ring would happen. But hey, the people have spoken, and they like ahoy hoy.
Next up, my ahoy hoy.
Don't blame me. I voted for Kelly O. Next up, It Does Not Bother Me versus Let the Fun Begin. Mm-hmm. And I'm a bit surprised at this outcome. To be honest with you, the winner was 70% of the vote.
Let the fun begin.
Yeah, that's surprising.
Let the fun begin. I'm kind of surprised. I mean, that's one of those ones I just think because I just play it so much that people just probably say it to themselves. When they hear the show, it's sort of like Stern's "Hey Now," which is I believe that drop is from the Larry Sanders Show.
Yeah.
Don't think of names.
Nope, I'm not going to try to think of names.
Don't think of
Tavner.
any names.
Not Tavner. Tambor. Jeffrey Tambor. Thank you.
Yeah, playing a Hank Greenberg or whatever his name is on the Larry Sanders Show, saying "Hey Now." But on the Stern Show, they will literally sometimes start the show with Howard saying "Hey Now," and then Fred Norris, their sound effects guy, playing a drop of "Hey Now," and they'll do that 13 times in a row. "Hey now, hey now, hey now," and so now when I hear that drop, I love that drop, and they use it a lot. I wonder if Let the Fun Begin. I'm not comparing the two shows because obviously one of them is an American institution and the other is the Howard Stern Show. Mm-hmm, right. But I do think that Let the Fun Begin, just the repetition of it has it in people's brains. So next up, we have, speaking of somebody who's famous in the Stern universe, Whack Packer Tan Mom saying, "I'm sorry, I'm tan. I like to be tan. It just feels good," going up against Shut It Down America. And the winner in that category...
Shut It Down America.
Wow.
Interesting one.
I'm looking at the seeding of these two, and of course the seeding was based on when listener Jake in Chicago set this up originally. He compiled a list of about
Jake.
220 or so drops, and just had people vote originally by picking your top 10. Everybody had to pick 10 out of this list of 200 plus, and so that's how we got the seeding. And I will say that Let the Fun Begin was a number 3 seed, and It Does Not Bother Me was number 11. So there's no upset there at all. And this one, same deal. Tan Mom was a 10 seed, and Shut It Down America was a number 2 seed. So you don't get much higher than that. So yeah, I would have probably gone with Tan Mom, but I don't know if I can really justify that.
Like I said, I think probably by the time this is all done, I will never play the Shut It Down America drop again.
Yeah.
Because it's now completely associated in my mind with the COVID stuff. Okay, so the next category, the next, I guess, bracket, if you will, is TBTL Organics. That's what you were just talking about, Andrew. So we've got the marsupial gurgle, or as I like to call it in my sound system, Andrew Weird Sound Short, going up against my own mother, Susie B, saying, I say, "What's up, dog?" which, of course, is a combination of Foghorn Leghorn and something that Sarah Silverman, I believe, says at some point in the movie School of Rock. I've forgotten all that School of Rock conversation that we had a while ago. I don't think at that time I mentioned that my mom saying hello and like hello, and then also then she would put air quotes around it, and then she would pull the air quotes down further, which she called lightning bolts. All of that is just from things that Sarah Silverman's character in School of Rock says to the Jack Black character.
I had no idea. I didn't even remember Sarah Silverman being in that movie.
I believe there's a point where Jack Black is being an annoying roommate or something, and Sarah Silverman says to him, "We have jobs, hello." My mom thought that was the funniest thing, but she just took the hello part of it. And then the "What's up, dog?" is also, I believe, from something in School of Rock, but then my mom decided to zhuzh it up by adding a Foghorn Leghorn sort of intro to it. I say, "What's up, dog?"
That makes sense.
Anyway, those... so that's the battle there. Marsupial Gurgle against my own actual flesh and blood. And the winner is... And Andrew, I have to say, 65% of the vote. That's actually that's a decisive victory.
Yeah, I apologize to your mom. She ran a great campaign, and honestly, I wasn't even running a campaign. I didn't want to win that. The funny thing about that is the marsupial gurgle is a funny moment from the show. I guess it's a drop. I guess for a long time you used it as a drop, but I think of I say, what's up, dog, is more of a drop as opposed to marsupial gurgle, which was an oddity.
Is there any part of you, too, that – because, like, I now regularly start the show by playing a drop from you. And then every once in a while when you work some of my voice into like the intro package on the show, I'm always caught off guard and I'm always mortified. It's only fair, by the way, so I have no problem with it. But like when you hear the marsupial gurgle, have you completely disassociated that from the fact that it's actually your own human voice?
For the most part. I will say this, it does not bother me. For real, it doesn't.
Now,
so I don't feel
year,
that way.
I want one of the contestants, if we have this contest again, which I don't know how that would work because we're not going to get enough new drops by then. I want someone to submit Andrew saying it does not bother me as a new version of that drop,
and then put it up against the marsupial gurgle. No, that's good, but I do think that was the last drop. Your mom was in a couple of these drops in round one, and I believe that now puts her out of the competition. So that makes me, that gives me some wistful feelings.
Sure. Next battle is Beagle, Baggle, Boggle, Boogle, Sean Dettori going up against another Walsh classic, Ooh Explicit. I get the impression, our friend on Twitter who does a lot of audio maintenance for the show, whose name we shan't say, although who had a 40th birthday yesterday, I would think was tweeting something about this. Like I think you and I actually misdescribed this drop. I always call it the Ooh Explicit drop. But, well, first of all, let's figure out who won in the contest.
Oh, explicit. Ooh.
I think, so are we misdescribing it? Do we regularly, call it the wrong thing?
Well, I think that he's, I'm just going to say it, nitpicking a little bit there. So it's explicit.
The day after his
is,
birthday.
I couldn't say it yesterday.
You come to me on the day after my daughter's engagement.
Welcome to middle age. Fam de Mort. Now everything's fair game. So we call it ooh explicit, but really it's oh explicit, ooh.
Got it.
So whatever. But see this, I will say I don't like the way this is shaping up. In all honesty, and this isn't some sort of weird false humility thing, but so now Sean, there's no Sean voice in the tournament anymore. Your mom's out of it, and now we have at least two with me, Marsupial Gurgle and oh explicit, and I will not be happy, and I know I'm not supposed to be influencing this, but you know what? Call your poll watchers and get me on electioneering charges because I don't care. I do not want to see my voice in the final brackets here. Like, we need to flush the Walshian out of this. I want the drop to be something that is not me.
Well, at least one of them needs to be not you. Because if it just ends up, if the final four is just 4 drops from Andrew.
I don't think that can happen because they're all
Jake
in the
wisely set it up.
They're all in the same bracket. They're all in the TBTL organic bracket. But right now, we're looking at, I guess, in round 3, it's going to be Marsupial Gurgle versus Oh Explicit Ooh. Are you happy, Lynn? And so, therefore, definitely one of those is going on to round 4. So that makes me a little nervous.
All right, next up, we have Power Out versus another Walsh classic, Oh Shit, Things Are Hard. And the winner there...
Power Out.
All right.
Again.
Good.
I mean, I hope you don't take this the wrong way, Andrew. Peace and love, but I'm surprised that it was only one with 60% of the vote. I feel like Power Out has everything going for it that you could hope for in a TBTL drop. It's organic to the listener. It's funny. We use it a lot. It's a great drop. I thought it would have had like 90% because I don't even think of Oh Shit, Things Are Hard as like even the top 5 things of that you've uttered that we play on the show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I like it when you play the Oh Shit, Things Are Hard. It's funny. I told you that's one of those drops. It's my own voice, yet it's somehow I've incepted it so that sometimes I will be talking in real life and I will hear the oh shit, things are hard in my voice. And it's like I accidentally imitate myself sometimes. It's definitely weird. But anyway, yeah, Power Out. I mean, Power Out, the original saying Power Out began with you and I making fun of some sort of a consultancy thing that we had to sit through at the old radio station. So that kind of became organic. And then the fact that it's listener Linda who just said it at the end of a voicemail one time. And just like the whole story of Power Out. Out is wonderful. I could see, I mean, again, whatever. I wouldn't mind seeing Power Out sit on that Iron Throne.
I don't know why the idea of the audio drop sitting on an Iron Throne makes me laugh, but it does. All right. Next up, it's your lucky day. You just found a USB drive in the parking lot going up against the Walshelm Scream. Has the Walshelm Scream gotten enough attention in its life?
I know.
I would argue. It's the most used piece of background audio going in Hollywood today. The winner of that battle... Yeah, the Walshelm Scream. 52% of the vote, by the way. That was a close one.
Okay, so what we're looking at, and I'm going to go over what the new matchups are going to be in a second because that's where it's really fun. But if you look at this, I guess it would be the southeast quadrant, you're looking at... Or wait, no, it's a different quadrant. But where are we on this thing? But we have, at least you have Marsupial Gurgle going up against Oh Explicit, and then Power Out going up against the Walshelm Scream. So I got 3 out of the 4 slots on that one. So let's all put our weight behind Power Out. Also, quick note, we mentioned the TV special, the Netflix special, Middleditch and Schwartz, the Netflix specials that they're doing. They're 3 long-form improv shows. Anyway, our buddy, the person who you insist on calling Hollywood Mike, which is such a lazy nickname, Luke. I can't believe you came up with that. Mixed that. He's an audio mixer in L.A., and he says, it's funny you mentioned that series. Guess what? I mixed those shows. Obviously, I'm biased, but I highly recommend them. He says also, if you want to check out a series about some quasi-celebrities, including Coolio, undergoing couples counseling, here is episode 1 of Love Goals that also features a few examples of the Walshelm Scream. So just so you know, it's still being mixed into some big-budget Hollywood productions.
Sure. Love Goals. All right, and the Who Needs a Movie category, which... I know you already defined these for me every time we've been doing this, but because one of the first drops I'm looking at is actually from Fox TV.
Yeah, anything from movies and TV or viral videos.
Got it. Okay. So the first matchup in the Who Needs a Movie category, it's Jalapena Shep Smith from Fox News going up against That's a Pretty Good Spoof, which is Zach Galifianakis, I believe, playing the character of his brother, Seth Galifianakis, who's an unlikely football coach, I believe, from North Carolina, showing up on the Jimmy Kimmel Show. And the winner...
Well, that's a pretty good spoof.
Oh, good.
Usually I don't think my brother's funny much, but that's a pretty good spoof.
That's good. I like that. I'm happy with that result.
I'm with that. I do like... I will say that of the people... Shep Smith has parted company with Fox, but of the people at Fox whose work I loathed the least... definitely would put Shep Smith on that list. It's funny how by comparison, not that we need to make this a conversation. We'll leave the analysis of the Fox network to Dave Folkenflik over on NPR. But it's funny how is Shep Smith actually an amazing human, or is he just the least bad person that was working at Fox?
Well, I just feel a little bit bad for Chris Wallace right now. I feel like he's probably the least bad, right? Is he on Fox? He's on Fox, right?
He is
Chris
on
Wallace
Fox.
Still on Fox. He used to be.
Yeah. He's. You know what's weird? Chris Wallace is Mike Wallace's kid, right?
Oh,
the famous Mike Wallace.
I never put that together.
Did you ever see that Mike Wallace is here? Wait, am I confusing my Mike Wallace and my Mike Douglas? No, Mike Wallace, the interviewer. I believe Chris Wallace maybe is his kid.
I'm looking this up now. Yep. He was 60 Minutes reporter Mike Wallace. So I didn't realize that there. Okay, I didn't realize there was a connection there, but it makes so much sense.
That documentary about Mike Wallace that I watched, I don't know, a while ago, 6 months ago, is amazing. Amazing. Would highly recommend it.
Did you talk about it on the show? Have I already?
I think I did. Is it called Mike Wallace is Here?
Oh, I'm sending myself a note now. I've been very into that. Oh, I have a correction to make, too. I was kind of making fun of that Nixon documentary I was watching on CNN called Tricky Dick. It's really good. It's a 4-part series. I finished it. I was kind of kind of doing the whole bit about how I'm just into kind of very middle brow pedestrian documentaries these days while I put around the kitchen. And I was like, oh, fine, I can't watch the Windsors. I'll watch this Tricky Dick documentary. And it's also like, I don't know, there's just been so much said, written, produced about the Nixon era. But man, it was good. And through and kind of subtly, until it wasn't so subtle, through a lens of what's going on right now. Highly recommend. It's on demand.
Yeah, the doc that I was referencing is Mike Wallace Is Here. And I highly, highly, highly recommend it. I don't know if it's streaming somewhere, but it was so good. All right, so Shep Smith losing. We bid you fond farewell, sweet prince. Next up, we have They is trying to say I was drunk. I drank 8 beers yesterday. That was all. Going up against Two Bros, broing it up, and the winner in that category.
Two bros, broing it up.
Interesting.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Again, Two Bros broing it up. That's classic. That's classic TBTL. Long before my time. It was a number 4 seed going up against number 12. But They was trying to say I was drunk really speaks to me. That's one of my favorite pieces of tape ever. So that's a little hard on me. Won by the way, Two Bros broing it up won by 6 votes. Just 6 votes.
Yeah, which is 2 votes less than the amount of beers that guy drank by his own admission
right.
While competing in a demolition derby and winning it and then having the title stripped because they trying to say he was drunk.
They was trying to say I lost. I lost by 6 votes.
Yep. Next up, That's Not How Any of This Works. Going up against, sadly, the answer is not yes. Principal Skinner. Again, we've mentioned the most recent, I think, addition to the competition.
The answer, sadly, is not yes.
That is right. Principal Skinner beating out That's Not How Any of This Works. 62% of the vote.
Yeah, I'm really sad to see That's Not How Any of This Works go away. But again, I think the answer, sadly, is not yes is a wonderful, wonderful piece of writing. But I feel like That's Not How Any of This Works is a better drop. But whatever.
It does make me weirdly happy because I feel like it's nice when something is relatively new to the TBTL canon and the listeners embrace it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's true.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm encouraged when something that's happened within the last 6 years is actually popular with the listeners.
Yeah,
I always take that as a good sign.
Yeah.
This last one is a clash of the titans.
Wow.
As far as I'm concerned, I might have tacos. I'm not quite sure yet. Joe Maturo, mayor saying racist-y stuff, up against Traffic Jam Jimmy, who didn't realize he was live on the air when he was trying to order a fish sandwich. Is it too early to get a fish sandwich? These are iconic drops, and the winner was.
Is it too early to get a fish sandwich?
Wow.
How do you feel about that?
I am surprised. I might have talked, but again, maybe it's just because of like the lens with which I look at these drops and like when I became part of the show. The tacos one is very classic to me, but like kind of classic of the new era, the me era. That was huge when I first started working with you on TBTL, and it's withstood the test of time. However, the fish sandwich, while newer to the repertoire, is like people we'll still put that on signs around towns around the country, I think, and we will still, anytime somebody passes a sign from some cheeky fish restaurant that says too early to get a fish sandwich, we will get emails and tweets from listeners sending us those photos. So I think it looms large in the national imagination.
The other thing is Traffic Jam Jimmy seems like, and I don't know him or everything about him, but what Joe Maturo was really ultimately doing was something that was kind of boneheaded, and you could even argue racist.
Yes, definitely. Yeah,
and so we've elevated him to legendary audio status. The joke is kind of on him, but at this point, it's like is it truly get a fish sandwich is a less harmful thing that happened in the world.
True. That's actually, and you're right. It's more of a celebration. It's a more celebration of innocence.
There you go. So that's it. That's were you going to tell us what the new matchups
Yeah,
are?
because I think this is the really fascinating part. So here's what everybody's up against. Now I'm going to put everything we talked about today. I'm going to put all of these links on today's show page. I'm really going to do it.
Okay.
So go to tbtl.net and look for the Friday show. I'm also going to put all of these new links in the newsletter, which will be going out probably around midnight tonight, based on how much work I've put into it so far. And yeah, that's midnight Pacific time. So here's what your choices are going forward. Things are getting hairy.
Okay.
I feel happy of myself versus I was too busy blocking out the haters.
Love it.
What a matchup. Talk about
Yeah.
Titans. Wow. I like Turtles versus I don't watch the news because I'm a kid. God, that's a great matchup. It almost feels like it was destined to be. I love Jesus, but I drink a little. Pardon me, if I may. I love Jesus, but I drink a little versus Ahoy Hoy. So two very classic ones. Let the Fun Begin versus Shut It Down America. That's, again, I feel like those are on par with each other, so I actually think that's a really cool matchup. Would you agree? They're both fundamental to the structure of the show. They're not especially flashy.
Yes, and they're both not associated with people we know.
Yes.
Like, in other words, there's it's not like it's a drop of, from a you versus a drop from my mom or something. It's Tom Shane against Tina Fey. Everyone's going to be okay. I don't think either of their careers are going to grind to a halt because they're eliminated from the competition. So that's also a good thing.
Speaking of people we know, next bracket, I've discussed this already. You got the marsupial gurgle sound I made versus explicit ooh. So either way, I'm going to be in that bracket.
Either way, America
afterwards.
loses.
Yeah. The next one, though, Power Out. Linda in Australia saying Power Out versus the Walshelm Scream. Please vote for the Power Out. I am definitely trying to influence this election. I do not care. If you vote Power Out off the island, I am quitting the show, and Linda is taking my place. I've already talked to her about this. That's a pretty good spoof, is going up against Two Bros Broing It Up. And finally, the answer, sadly, is not yes, is going up against Is It Too Early to Get a Fish Sandwich? There you go.
You know what I love about this? First of all, you're right, some great matchups. But I love that for whatever reason now, that was the exact order that I had the drops in anyway, based on the process of elimination.
Oh, nice.
So I don't have to do any more work to have the drops ready to go next time. And for me, that's a huge win.
You can just delete the losers from your list.
That's what I did.
Nice. You're doing it. Okay, yes.
Deleted out the losers.
Deleted out the losers.
Yeah, and so now we were all ready to go for. And has listener Jake said when the next round of voting will end? I assume like next weekend, maybe.
Yeah, my guess is we're now kind of in a we'll update it once a week kind of thing. Keep this thing going on as long as we possibly can.
Here's the frequency, listeners. The TBTL Drops of Stupider contest is now at. So we're in the Sweet 16, right? This is going to get us down to the Elite 8.
That's right. It's getting. We're getting down there, man.
Yeah, it's a serious business now. In the category of kids and animals, we have I Feel Happy of Myself going up against I Was Too Busy Blocking Out the Haters. And the winner... Wow.
I feel happy of myself.
Good.
I feel
like
happy
that.
of myself.
Good.
66% of the vote you approve.
That feels good to me. Yeah. Okay. I guess you want me not to give my opinion too much on this.
No, I don't care.
I'm leaning really it occurred to me yesterday as I was looking over these results that it's really going to happen. At one point, there's going to be one ring to rule them all, right? And if it was, and everybody is free to vote however they want, but if it were, I Feel Happy of Myself, I personally feel like that would be a great symbolic number one drop representing TBTL.
What's the symbology?
What is the symbology there? Anyway, that's putting my hands pretty heavily on the scale.
Right. Well, it's fair. I mean, like, we're going to eventually get into the Andrew division where almost every single team is some version of your voice. So I think you have a dog in this fight.
Yeah,
I understand
I got to get out of this fight.
All right. Next up, we have I Like Turtles against I Don't Watch the News because I'm a kid. And the winner with 66... Interesting. The first two both had 66% of the vote.
I don't watch the news.
Wow.
Because I'm a kid.
Wow.
Noah Ritter.
I Like Turtles. Just gone, left in the dirt. Oh, by the way, some people were concerned on social media that this really meant that you were going to retire every drop that doesn't win. And I told them, don't worry.
No, I wouldn't do that.
He's only going to stop playing them for 5 years.
If I retired them, then I'd have to go find new drops, and that represent work.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Indeed. Okay, so next up so that's the kids and animals category.
Yeah, so let's just, if you don't mind, I'll recap as we go. So that means going into the championship, either I feel happy of myself or I don't watch the news because I'm a kid will be the champion of that kids and animals round. That's what you're up against, folks. You have to vote on I feel happy of myself versus don't watch the news.
Radio Days or Days, DAYS or DAZE. That's the next category. I love Jesus, but I drink a little, going up against Ahoy Hoy, and the winner in that category comes as no surprise.
I love Jesus, but I drink a little.
Good.
Yeah,
I like that.
64% of the vote.
Great.
I love Jesus, but I drink a little.
Sometimes you just got to trust the electorate.
Yeah, every once in a while. That's
our electorate.
Don't. Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to not go there because it's not why people tune into this show. I was watching Chris's show last night, Chris Hayes' show, and it was just I love his show. It's a beautiful story. I love his story, but sometimes it winds me up so much about things like the Electoral College and the like.
Can I just say one thing on a personal note? I'm not even going to get into the details. If you're interested in the story, you can look it up. But when I saw that hashtag Fire Chris Hayes was trending on Twitter yesterday, I was, obviously somebody emailed me or tweeted at me that was a thing that was happening on Twitter. I was very concerned for a moment. I was wondering, how would Chris have stepped afoul of the values and everything that I know of him? What has he done? And when I saw what he had done, which was actually speaking truth to power and doing his job, I could not have been. Proud is a weird word to use because I have no right to be proud of our friend Chris Hayes, but my pride overfloweth yesterday. He's continues to fight the good fight.
The reason that some people, one guy, one place, was trying to make trouble for our friend Chris was because he had the temerity to talk about the allegations against Joe Biden in terms of sexual assault. And people, I understand why. We're all many of us, myself included, are very, very nervous about the prospects of Donald Trump continuing to be the president of this country. And there is a certain mindset of just being like, no dissent allowed in the Democratic Party because we have to focus on that guy not being president, which I understand that as a mindset. But Chris was just doing his job as a journalist. And you're right. It wasn't like he got caught doing something you shouldn't do. He got caught being a journalist.
Yeah, and I think, frankly, it was trending because so many people were tweeting about how dumb that hashtag was. I mean, that's one of those things where
that's why I say one guy, one place.
Yeah.
It's like that's the weirdness of the internet these days, is something will start trending even if it's because people are saying the thing in question is BS or whatever.
Exactly. But anyway.
All right. Next up, we have Let the Fun Begin versus Shut It Down America. This is in the Radio Days category. The winner is...
Let the Fun Begin.
Old Tommy Shane.
Sticks around.
That's
it's played every show. That's, also that's another one that seems like a good umbrella drop for the show. Ella. God, I love that song. Anyway, so I'm happy with that.
Me too, because... Shut It Down America, it is a joke. It's something that Liz Lemon said on 30 Rock. It's something that we play now a lot just as a sonic kind of, I don't know even what you'd call it, just a little piece of audio reminding all of us as if we needed it, a reminder that we're all stuck at home. But Let the Fun Begin to me is a legitimately funny joke because, as I said probably last time we were playing this drop in the terms of this contest, there's nothing that sounds less fun than Tom Shane saying, "Let the fun begin."
Let the fun begin.
Like the idea that he went to a recording studio and said that into a microphone, and the engineer and the producers, I'm sure that the Shane Company has an advertising agency, and that he said this, and they were like, yeah, that's believable.
Let the fun begin.
Is mystifying to me to this day, thousands of episodes later. I remain mystified that that's what they went with.
I never thought about it that deeply, but you're right. That definitely enhances my love of that drop.
Hey, Tom, could we get one more, but a little braver?
Let the fun begin.
All right. So that will be. You want to recap where we're at with that now?
Yeah. So going up in Radio Days in the final round, one of these will be crowned champion of the Radio Days category. I Love Jesus, But I Drink a Little, or Let the Fun Begin. And both of them won with 64% of the vote this last time. So it seems like, again, it's going to be pretty tight, I'm guessing.
Next up is the TBTL Organics division. This is the one, or also known as the Andrew Walsh division. This one's a lot of Andrew Walsh. So it is Marsupial Gurgle, or as I call it, Andrew Weird Sound Short, going up against Ooh Explicit.
So either way, my voice is still going to go on to the next round.
Yeah, of course. Either way, the listeners lose.
Makes sure I lose.
And the winner is, wow, by 6 votes.
That kind of surprises me because Ooh Explicit has become kind of more of a. Oh, by the way, do you know there's another controversy? Do you know that people think that the whole like Ooh Explicit and we were told that's the original one? Now other people are saying no, that was a funny edit that you made. The original is Ooh Explicit. And so this is very controversial, but either way, it doesn't matter because it's gone. We're not playing it for 5 years.
That's right. Next up, we have a Power Out against the so-called Walsh-Helm Scream. So Linda in Australia against a piece of audio that I would say probably of all the things we've created on this show has the longest tail in that listener Mike down there in Hollyweird. What do you call him?
Hollywood Mike.
Hollywood Mike.
I came
Hollywood
up with that,
Mike.
Luke. Hollywood Mike.
Hollywood
See, already
Mike
that's better. Yeah.
Hollywood Mike has been putting the Walsh-Helm Scream in various television programs for now going on a year or so, I think. That's going up against Power Out, and the winner...
Power Out.
Good. Very good. I don't know if you recall, but that saves my job. Because I promised to quit the show if Power Out lost that round. So that's a relief.
Yeah, Power Out works on a lot of levels for me. One, it is, of course, how we end every show now and have for how long have we been doing that? A couple of years?
Oh, I think we started that when I was in L.A., so probably about 5 years now. Yeah.
And it's a listener-generated thing. It's a TBTL organic, as Jake came up with. And it's listener Linda, who we love. So... and I love you too, Andrew, but honestly...
I want out of this thing. I want out of this thing bad. I don't mind putting my fingers on the scale. In the next round, for the champion of the TBTL Organics category, we will have the Marsupial Gurgle Noise going up against Power Out. People, you know what to do here. You know what to do here. Don't make me threaten to quit again.
I like the idea of you throwing the election of some hanging chads, of you getting diebold on it.
I will. Like, I got to say, man, Jake honestly, sends me the results. And then, so, I mean, he's the only one who would know if I wanted to cook these numbers.
Exactly. Next up, we have in the Who Needs a Movie category. This is what, movie and TV things?
Or viral videos. So does that apply here?
Or viral video. Sure.
Yes, because one of these is from a viral video.
That's a pretty good spoof. Zach Galifianakis, I believe on Jimmy Kimmel, pretending to be his fictional brother, Seth Galifianakis, going up against two bros broing it up from SNL. And the winner is...
Well, that's a pretty good spoof.
You know what? First of all, I'm glad of that. That's a good result. Are you sure that's Kimmel? I think that was Between Two Ferns, and I thought I pulled it.
Oh,
because he would pull that character out. For you see a version of that character in Baskets. You see a version of that character, and I think you're right. He used to be. I could be wrong. I don't want to like belabor that too much, but that might have been from Between Two Ferns for whatever it's worth.
Is he doing
I have
the
it
interview
here.
as Seth?
I have it. You know what? I have it labeled here as Between Two Ferns. Here's the longer.
Okay.
Usually I don't think my brother's that much funny, but I got to give him some credit for that one. That's a pretty good spoof.
I think what that was
Do we remember what the spoof was?
I don't remember what the spoof he was referring to was, but I think the premise was that Zach Galifianakis was out and couldn't host Between Two Ferns. But don't worry, his brother is here, and I think that Zach had written something on the cards, and then the fake brother was like, "That's a pretty good spoof." I think. Okay, we can. Let's find out.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
and also there's no audience laughing in the background, which I think it's been established that it's from Between Two Ferns, but I should have known that because when he rolled that character out on Kimmel, there's a lot of background noise and laughter. So that's pretty good spoof, winning with 62% of the vote, and then the final matchup here is Principal Skinner saying, "Sadly, the answer is not yes," versus Traffic Jam Jimmy. Is it too early to get a fish sandwich? And the winner is...
Is it too early to get a fish sandwich?
52% of the vote. That was close.
That's a close one. And I like that. Yeah, we've talked about this a lot. But the one of them is a really funny joke written by writers in a writing room. The other is a guy being weird on live TV. I will always take the weird on live TV.
Absolutely, 100%.
So means
there you go.
The championship round of Who Needs a Movie is That's a Pretty Good Spoof versus Is It Too Early for a Fish Sandwich. Those are the two that are going on. I'm very excited. I'm getting really into this now. I'm really excited to see what we have by next Friday.
I feel like if we would have really thought this through, we could have had people betting on it, and then we could have taken the VIG or a little juice off of that, like a casino in Vegas.
That sounds
basically
up and up. Yeah.
I mean, sounds expensive. Because I feel like I want to bet on this. I want to bet on which drops I think are going to win.
We did get an email from listener Brett in the U District who did encourage us to do this every year, but encourage more office pools around it. I don't know though. I mean, I like the idea of doing some sort of competition every year, but because this spans the entire history of TBTL, just redoing it every year and it doesn't seem to make sense to me. But I think we could come up with something else.
We should. I think that this idea, this bracket thing, is smart. It's why, by the way, sports radio has been using some version of this, not just March Madness, but whatever, fill in the bracket for years, because it is a fun exercise. But I do think the problem is we're not generating enough new drops. So we are down to, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8. Oh wow, we're going to the final four.
Yes, we are. We're about to announce the winners of the Elite Eight. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Excuse me. This is something listener Jake in Chicago put together, and it's been really fun. In the Kids and Animals division, we're the last two drops are I Feel Happy of Myself and I Don't Watch the News because I'm a kid, and the winner...
I don't watch the news because I'm a kid.
Wow. Noah Ritter is emerging from the Kids and Animals category.
Now, I love that drop, but I'm a little bit of a... I'm a little bummed. I really
You're a Feel Happy of Myself guy?
I really when I finally saw the last 8 and I scanned the list and I saw I Feel Happy of Myself as a contender, I thought, oh, that's the one I most want to take the big prize. I felt like it really represented 12 years of TBTL, just even when things are down, trying to pump yourself up and feeling happy of yourself. I really wanted that to take it all. So no offense to Noah Ritter. Congratulations to Noah. I hope he does well in the next round as well, but this one stings for me a little bit.
I can hear what you're saying on that because, I Feel Happy with Myself. It feels thematically like what this show is generally trying to do. When we're not talking about the annihilation of the human race in 10,000 years, we're trying to bring happiness to the listeners.
Right.
Okay, in the Radio Days category, these would be pieces of audio that kind of became big early on in the show when the show was a radio program. We've got the famous I Love Jesus, But I Drink a Little going up against Old Tommy Shane with Let the Fun Begin. And the winner of the Radio Days final two is...
I love Jesus, but I drink a little.
That's good.
That's a, that's a natch, right? I would be unsurprised if that... I wouldn't be surprised if that drop won the whole thing.
Yes, and Jake in Chicago, who is running this contest and sent me these results, mentioned how excited he is about the way the seeding has played out. So to go back for a second, I Feel Happy of Myself was a number 1 seed. Well, that just got beat by a number 2. I Love Jesus, But I Drink a Little is a number 1 seed, meaning it got a lot of votes when he was just collecting these as raw data. Let the Fun Begin was a 3 seed. So right now we have going into next week, we have a 1 seed, I Love Jesus, But I Drink a Little, up against a 2 seed, I Don't Watch the News Because I'm a Kid. One of those is going to win, it's going to be the semifinalist.
Wow. Okay. The next category, TBTL Organics. These are pieces of audio that came about in the TBTL universe. And we have the Marsupial Gurgle, a.k.a. Andrew Weird Sound Short, going up against Power Out, listener Linda in Australia. And the winner in that category...
Power Out.
Are you relieved, my friend?
Oh,
you made it very
I'm
clear last
so
week
excited about this.
that you did not want the Marsupial Gurgle to move on.
This is good because there was a moment where I think there were 4 drops, at least 3 drops with my voice on them. I didn't want any of them to win. And also, Power Out is so important. It's a powerful drop. And so, yes, I am so relieved to not have my voice in any of these anymore, and to know that a 6 seed has now become victorious in that bracket.
The amount of money that we owe Bill McMahon. Because, Mad Manning, TM. Power Out, TM. Dazzling Detail, TM.
Yep.
I mean, the guy TM'd him, Andrew.
He
TM'd him.
He really did.
I mean, he was like, this is gold. I'm going to show these guys this, but I need them to know these things are trademarked. And all we've done is violate his trademark for years. And now we've implicated Linda in the whole thing.
Yeah. I think listeners know. I mean, you just explained it now. Here, I'm going to explain it again. I think that a lot of listeners know at this point, even newish listeners, that all 3 of those phrases that we use on the show became part of our parlance because we were kind of making fun of this presentation that we saw in when we worked for a radio station. This consultant came in. But I don't know how many people know that the reason we really started making fun of them was because he put little trademarks after each one of those phrases
on the overhead. I think
the
this
overhead.
is in the days, maybe it was.
I think
digital.
It was a PowerPoint.
But yeah. So these, the great irony though is that we have gotten more content out of these concepts. I mean, they have been fundamental to us doing this show all these years. Power Out, Dazzling Details, and less so Mad Manning.
Yeah,
but so Power Out is moving on. Congratulations, Linda. Also, I think in Australia, she's beyond the prosecutorial reach of the United States Trademark Court. So
that's the basis of the country, I believe.
In good health, Linda. All right, and then last category, Who Needs a Movie? That's a pretty good spoof going up against Is It Too Early to Get a Fish Sandwich? Traffic Jam Jimmy. I'm surprised that Who Needs a Movie made it that far. Now, the original Who Needs a Movie was really funny, but it was a weird YouTube thing or something that we were into. But the winner in this category...
Is it too early to get a fish sandwich?
Traffic Jam Jimmy.
And I think that we agreed. I think you and I were both. So that's a pretty good spoof. 9 seed loses to this 2 seed. And I think you and I were saying last week.
Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. Yeah, you know what?
I was letting that go.
The category was Who Needs a Movie. I got so distracted by that. What I was thinking was, how did Who Needs a Movie make it this far in the contest? I don't remember playing it once. And it's because it was actually That's a Pretty Good Spoof. Excuse me. Going up against a fish sandwich.
Yeah. And, That's a Pretty Good Spoof is a big part of the show, but again, came from, a comedian doing something funny on television versus Is It Too Early to Get a Fish Sandwich, which was a little bit more organic, right? I mean, yes, it happened on television, but it was a wacky moment with a news. What, is he a weatherman? No, he's a traffic reporter, right? So anyway.
I think he was a traffic reporter, which, by the way, is the most bizarre way to cover traffic is to have a guy in a physical car driving around. I mean...
Oh, wait. Here it is. Baker Street sax solo, 10 hours. Can I just override you here?
10 hours?
I mean, I can't find my original file. I'm just relying on the internet now. Come on, get to
this
it.
is like YouTube?
Yeah.
I love it, actually.
This is why I have
So
an edited version.
someone has looped this to be 10 hours?
Oh, my God. I've never
good
needed
stuff.
to hear that so bad. Now we're into it.
Let's go. All right. We're down to the final four. The first pairing is Power Out going up against Is It Too Early to Get a Fish Sandwich? A couple of real heavyweights. Power Out against Is It Too Early to Get a Fish Sandwich? And the winner is...
Power Out.
Wow.
Whoa. Power Out defeating Traffic Jam Jimmy.
I'm happy with that. That I think the Power Out is kind of I don't know. I use the word iconic too much, but it's just an overall thing. We use it every single day. It is part of the TBTL DNA. Is it too early to get a fish sandwich? Is funny, but it's also a joke shared more by the wider world. You know, there are still people spoofing on it because it went viral online, and you see fish shops that have it up on their signs still. Power Out is ours. We came up with Power Out. We trademarked it.
Well, actually, yeah, exactly. That is a totally original creation by us. You got to be beeping me.
All right. And I like to think of Power, it's Linda, our listener Linda in Australia, which kind of was the beginning of our Australian kind of connection.
Yeah. No, that was I agree. I like Power Out being in the... And again, we end the show with it every day. So it's both a TBTL organic and it's something that gets played, hundreds of times a year. However many shows we do in a year. So, I think it makes sense. I like it a lot. I'm very happy about that.
Yep.
Now, the next matchup. I love Jesus, but I drink a little, against I don't watch the news because I'm a kid. And the winner.
I don't watch the news because I'm a kid.
Wow. Nobody tell Jen.
Was that a referendum? That shocks me. That really, of course, I love the Noah Ritter. I don't watch the news because I'm a kid.
Yeah.
But going back to my babbling from a minute ago about how I think of Power Out, I love Jesus, but I drink a little. Very similar. Again, that was a phrase shared by the world back in the day because it came from the Ellen DeGeneres show. But it's been just for our listenership. It's just been part of TBTL since the beginning. So
yeah, and again, I don't. This was very close too, right?
Yeah, I got a note from
11 votes or something.
Yeah, Jake in Chicago, who's administering this whole thing, and it was his whole idea. He says for the last few days, this one was going back and forth within 3 votes either way until a last-minute rally for Noah.
That's fascinating to me because, to be honest, and maybe this is just how it shook out. I don't want to question the wisdom of the 10s. I don't even think that that's the best Noah Ritter clip.
Oh, well, that's the one that kind of, but that's the shortcut of it, right? You like the Powerball thing, but it doesn't. The Powerball thing only makes sense in the context of it. It's a dependent clause, if you will.
Go for later. Okay, so the final 2 drops were I don't watch the news because I'm a kid, Noah Ritter.
I don't watch the news because I'm a kid.
And Power Out from our friend Linda in Australia.
Power Out.
And I don't actually have I know who won, but I don't have the specific results in front of me. But should I just just tell the folks who the winner is?
Yeah,
Andrew?
do it, because I don't think we have oh, yes, I have the numbers. I can share those afterwards. But why don't you give the results?
Okay, here we go. The greatest drop in the history of TBTL, as voted by the tens of listeners, is
Power Out.
Congratulations, listener Linda. I was pausing there because as I was about to activate it, I realized this would have been a prime time to cat roll everyone. And I was realizing my failure. But then I was also thinking, why do I want to make the listeners angry the week before we're going to ask them to support the show financially? Why would I do that? Those were all thoughts that were going through my mind as that drum roll was playing. So there you go. Power Out is the greatest drop in the history of TBTL. I'm going to put you in a tight spot, my friend. How do you feel about that?
I feel great about that. I was going to be really bummed out if somebody who is part of the TBTL family, our dear friend Linda in Australia, lost out to a viral video that the kind of world knows. Like, the Power Out is, again, something specific to our show. Yes, it came from literally a trademarked phrase that a radio consultant told us that we're only allowed to use if we acknowledge his trademark. But aside from that, we've really internalized it, and it's the voice of Linda, a real TBTL 10, and I would have been really bummed if she had lost out. So I think it's a great victory for TBTL. I think it's a great victory for Linda. I think Linda now has to continue listening to TBTL for the life of the show. TBTL, we're just trying to make ourselves comfortable now. So anyway, I'm really psyched, and it looks like that did win with 69% of the vote. Nice. And the one thing is, I was talking...
Dino Dong.
I was talking to... who was I talking to? Somebody online, maybe on Twitter this weekend, and somebody acknowledged with me that the fact that duplication investigation did not even make it to the 64, that's the real tragedy that nobody's talking about.
Yeah. I would have thought people would put that in to just sort of troll me.
Yeah, you don't like it.